The Permadeath Podcast, episode 39. Welcome, everybody. Wait, we are on 39, right? Or is this
I don't know. You looked it up.
No, y'all said 39 earlier, I remember.
It's 30... Fuck. It's 39. It's 39.
30 fuck.
Are we sure?
Could be anything.
Welcome, everybody, to our first episode post-2017 wrap-up live stream where we promised you video. God damn it. We're giving it to you. We're giving it to you. Not only are we giving you video, not only are you sitting there in your house, beautiful home you have, not only are you sitting there in your beautiful home, cuddled around the monitor, or maybe you have big picture mode, right? Rocking on your television set.
I wouldn't want this in big picture mode.
You got
No.
You've got video.
Also at work, you can
have
watch this.
the return appearance of Yokurama. Hello.
Oh, dang, I forgot that's actually a thing, a big deal. Oh, yo, it's been a while. Oh, crap, see? If I hit my table, I have long legs, and also my table has long legs, so...
Ooh, long legs. All right.
But yeah, hey, it's awesome to be back. I've been slowly wanting to return to the whole internet deal, because, you know, I kind of fell off everything, and what better place to come back than, you know, Permadeath, where talking about video games, you know? I love games.
Hell yeah.
Because I've been playing much more video games than I've been watching anime. To be honest, I mean, you can get into a game for many hours very easily, you know. And yeah, I got a few things to say. Not really sure what we're talking about.
We're just gonna roll.
It's okay.
We're
It's
just
okay.
gonna roll, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I can talk about anything, you know. Let's do it.
That part of the show has not changed at all in
Yeah, we still just talk about...
We clap,
random
but we
crap.
still talk. We talk
Yeah.
random shit. All right,
Yeah.
good.
So how has 2018 been treating everybody? Last time we talked mostly about 2017, everything we liked about that year, everything we played, things we missed in our best of videos. But now we are officially almost 2 months into 2018.
Well, we are 2 months into 2018.
How's it? Yeah. Well, I mean, the second month is almost over. Is what I mean. Like we're ready to wrap up the second month. How's it treating everybody? You know, video games, New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Everybody on track.
I'm still on track for completing one game a month. I'm good.
One game
I'm
a
happy
month?
with that. One game a month.
I will get my golden gun at the end of this season.
Oh,
Hooray.
okay. Who are you picking?
Probably Zen. So it's not even a gun.
Golden Balls.
Gold balls. And I got the Dynasty skin for him, so it's gonna look like it's in theme.
Then can I make a New Year's resolution?
Yeah,
Since you guys
we're
already
gonna talk
have
about
one?
that for a bit here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever actually stated them on the show before.
Oh, you guys never actually stayed in the New Year's resolution?
Yeah, if we made them, or
Then
or
I
if we
won't
didn't
tell
make
you
them,
mine.
Bill actually...
Oh, we did say it. During the
Bill
stream.
made one, and then forgot to say it in the live stream.
Oh, did
Yeah,
he? Which one was
yeah.
that?
Well, if he remembers.
Oh, I forget.
You said you
Because-
wanted to master a fighting game.
Oh, I wanted the Master of Fighting.
Oh, right,
game,
yeah.
Which
Okay.
game in
I want to
particular?
get
Pocket.
Or
probably
Sony?
Dragon Ball Fighters. That's the one I want to pick. I think.
Oh, dang.
Because it's hot right now. It's hot. Not only is the game hot, the fighters are hot.
What
It's a good
console?
game.
Or what system?
PC,
I'll
probably go
PS4?
I'll probably go PS4 for
PS4.
Dragon Ball. I feel like the biggest audience is there for it, most likely. But you know, I don't know. I kind of want to check out Tekken as well.
Same. I've been wanting to get it on PC because it's been like $20 so many times, or like $15. I'm like, man, dude, that's a pretty new game still, you know.
So we did mention our resolutions on the live stream. I didn't
Yeah, we can go over them again. It's like, not a problem.
Because I started doing something. It was like a late resolution. It wasn't really like I thought of this in December or like right in January. But I started keeping a spreadsheet of everything I'm playing. Like the kind of course correct, like the train wreck that is like, oh man, I have like 9 games started. And time has been really tough to wrestle since like starting full-time work in September. So it's like I come home from work, and by the time I'm set up and ready to go after eating and whatever, it could be like 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's like I want to be in bed by 12 or whatever. Like I sit there and like, what do I want to play? Well, I have this, and this started, and it's like I don't even fucking know. I don't know where to go from here. But I started like I'm juggling all these games, and I'm getting into this mindset of like, oh man, I only can start one game at a time. That's the only way I'm gonna beat this. But it's like then if I do that with the amount of time I have, I'm never gonna beat anything. So I decided to let myself start multiple games, and starting in this 2018, late in February, I started a spreadsheet. Not only a spreadsheet, but in that spreadsheet, I like leave little notes for myself, like, oh, this is the last thing you did in Assassin's Creed. That way, if I don't get back to it for 2 weeks, I'll always remember what I was doing, kind of.
That's smart.
So that's been fun. That's been fun to do, yeah.
I understand what you mean, man, about the whole, like, being afraid to start another game because you already have, like, one or two that you're in. And, like, I've been kind of experiencing the same thing. I started Evoland 2. Ebbie's favorite game, Evoland 1, remember?
Yeah.
World
no
record
one has put more hours into that game than I have.
I started Evoland 2. It's a very good game. It's like a full-on RPG, you know, like where they go through like the generations and stuff. So much better than Evoland 1. And
yeah, I hear it's
and
really great.
I played it for like 5-6 hours, and then without even thinking, I started playing like Slay the Spire, and I'm playing that for like 20 hours straight. And then after that, I decided to play like some random ass like multiplayer game with a friend. And then after like a week, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about Evoland 2. And then I'm like, man, but there's this other game I just downloaded. I wanted to get into. But then I'm like, man, I have like 10 games installed where I just don't want to even play because I'm afraid to play them, you know, because I don't want to start it because I have so many other games, you know?
Yeah.
It's
horrible.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
It's a mindset that somebody, because I was looking up like, because I like reading what other people do, you know, like how other people handle stuff like this. Like, oh, like how do other people play 7 or 8 games at a time? Like, what are their strategies? A lot of people that I read online, like, oh, I only do like one story game at a time, one multiplayer game at a time. Like, that's not what I'm looking for. I want to look for the guys who are going hog wild, have 19 games started. I want to see what they're doing. And somebody said something, and I read that. I'm like, man, that makes the most sense. Is somebody said, because like my thing is, if I force myself to, like, right now, if I was gatekeeping myself from playing anything until I beat Assassin's Creed, I wouldn't play anything for like a month and a half because that game is fucking large, and that ends up becoming like, okay, well then I'm forcing myself to play Assassin's Creed, and not because I don't want to play it, but maybe on this particular day I'm just not in the mood. So then I end up playing nothing, or I end up resenting Assassin's Creed because the game's not fucking ending, and I just want to start like Kingdom Hearts or something like that. So someone said like. Once you like stop treating it like it's like some kind of investment strategy or a job, and just kind of play whatever you're feeling like playing, like the hobby it's supposed to be, like you end up getting through things faster instead of like, oh well, I have to do this, and I know I just making a spreadsheet sounds like the opposite of that, but that's mostly just for you know, a meta game for myself to keep track of everything. But like reading that, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Why am I putting myself through like, oh, I have to beat this? Like, no, I don't. What if I want to play Mario and Rabbids?
For sure. There's like a million games out there, and I keep adding new ones to my wish list all the time. You know, like I want to play all of them. I don't even care.
Play 'em.
A game is not like, I mean, it's meant to be finished, obviously, but not every game is. You don't have to finish every game. You know,
exactly.
If it catches your attention enough to like sit through it and play it, then good and awesome. But but if you just like decide to play something else and you kind of forget about it, who knows? Maybe if you have fond memories of it, you can always just come back to it. Maybe even start from the beginning. You know, I literally have like 700 games on Steam because I buy like every Humble Bundle and like every monthly and everything for like since Humble Bundle started. Seriously, I would have had like 150 games if it wasn't for Humble Bundle. So that's like the coolest site. And so I'm not worried. They're there, you know? I can just play them whenever I want. There's games I have that aren't even on Steam anymore, you know? Like, I can just go back and play them, so it doesn't even matter. It's just all in your head. That's all it is.
The added benefit...
how you tackle it.
Sorry, the added benefit of your spreadsheet is that you can mark things as done, so even if you completely forget what you've actually finished, you can look at it and say, actually, I have finished 30 games this year, even though it feels like I've only done like 3 big ones.
It's like a game in itself.
Yeah.
That was the cool thing about websites like My Anime List, that it'd be like, oh, now I can say that this show's done and I feel like I've achieved something, but really I've like sat there and watched a TV show.
I'm surprised. Is there a website like My Anime List level for games? I mean, I'm surprised if there isn't. I mean, there's How Long to Beat, where you can like put how many out, but that's like there's nobody on that site almost.
Yeah, that's mostly I use that site like to look at stuff,
and there's like, still it's unreliable a lot of times for newer games.
Yeah,
because,
for sure.
Because there's like you'll get like 10 people who
one
beat
guy,
this game, and it's like
one guy's thing.
Yeah, like So I wonder why there isn't. Is it like harder? Maybe it's because people don't finish as many games as they would even finish anime. Because anime you can just like, watch. You know?
And what you class as being finished, I guess, like an anime.
Well, I guess they would be like finished and then completed.
Yeah. You're right. There's 100% completion.
Because on how long to beat, they have like different categories.
Yeah,
for, like,
for sure.
Hours. They have like main story and extras, full completion length.
Like I tried using that site, and I put a couple of games that I've completed, and that's it. But lately, I just created a sub-genre in my Steam that after I beat a game, I just throw it in. I just throw it in there.
And then hide it.
I have a folder on my PS4. I have shit separated into folders, and all of my single-player games that I'm playing go into the folder. I will never beat any of these. That's what I named the folder.
Just uninstall them.
Oh no, I'm playing them all. It's like Assassin's Creed's in there, Kingdom Hearts is in there, all that. Like that's my single player games folder. That's not like a separate thing. That's what I'm playing.
Yeah, but also there's the issue. You know how like we want to complete all these games, but there's a lot of games that aren't completable, like Overwatch and stuff that you guys play.
That's the biggest problem with me.
I know Ebbie plays Overwatch like crazy. She like posts clips and stuff. And Bill, I once in a while see playing on over here on Discord, and I play League that way. Like sometimes I'll get into times where I'll play. Like every waking moment, every like free time I have, I'm just playing League, and it could be up to like 5 to 10 hours a day for weeks on end. Because I'm trying to climb my rank, or I'm trying to just like I just get into a new mode that they add. Like sometimes they add this mode called Earth, where everybody has like 70% cooldown on all their abilities, and everybody like has like all this crazy MR. You can like get gold faster, like so everybody is like extra powerful instead of a 50-minute match. It's like 15-minute match, you know, because everybody just moves the game really fast, and like sometimes I'll just play that nonstop for like 24 hours straight. Like I just get so into that shit, and it just resets your mind on other games you're playing, you know, because you're just so focused on this stuff, and like coming back to Evil Land 2 after that, you're just like kind of like, or I mean, I'm just using that as an example, but just coming back to a game is like okay, like. So I go left and up. And, where am I going? You know, there's an overview world, and you're just like, what the fuck?
That's the other thing. Is like, yeah, like I'm like keeping track of progress on my spreadsheet, but like that doesn't help with like jumping back into a game where it's like, oh man, like I was just playing Monster Hunter so much. Now I'm back in Assassin's Creed, and like I remember what I was doing, but now I'm pressing all of the Monster Hunter buttons while trying to do shit in Assassin's Creed. So instead of like picking loot up with the right button, I'm like pressing the button that calls my horse like over and over again. And like for 3 hours straight, I'll be doing this. I'm like, Billy, you fucking asshole! Just like you're like it's triangle, you shitty idiot! Like what are you doing? So like there's that process. So like if you're playing so many games, like you are.
It's with roguelikes. Like I got into. I played a lot of Dead Cells. I have like 60 hours or something.
Good game.
One of my favorite games of last year, if not favorite. Like it was the bomb. And I would get hella into it, but then once I start playing some other game, even like after a week of playing another game and not playing Dead Cells, I come back and I suck because like I'm clicking the wrong buttons, and I'm like what the hell, dude? I was so good I thought I was a god at this game, you know. And then like after a week, I can't even like beat the second boss or something, and I'm just like get discouraged, and then you have to like put another 20 hours into that game to get good at it again, you know. It's just like that's how games are, you know.
Yeah, I had that problem with we'll talk about it in a bit, but Kingdom Hearts, when I started playing Kingdom Hearts, because the game like control-wise is kind of similar to Final Fantasy 15. I was pressing all of the wrong buttons because like none of them are the same. And I'm sure when I go back to Final Fantasy 15 when the Royal Edition comes out, I'm gonna just be trying to play Kingdom Hearts but playing Final Fantasy 15 because that's what I do apparently.
The biggest thing was switching X and circle, so one of them's attack in one game and it's menu in the other.
They switched like the jump button and the attack button, which is enough to like fuck me up pretty bad. So
talk about button changes. Also, like going from like the Switch to PlayStation 4, you know, they have like reverse. That screws me up every single time, like, man. I have both, and I play both a lot, so I'm trying to like it just, every time I can't get used to it. It's just.
Because on the Switch, the like confirm button is usually the A.
Yeah,
right?
A.
That's on the right side. Yeah. I mean, in Japan, like every Japanese game over there, before it gets localized, usually the confirm button is usually circle.
Yeah.
But it changes for the West, and I don't know what.
I'd rather it be circle. I believe
because it makes the most sense. I think like they look at it as like a okay, yeah, like why would the X confirm something when that's kind of like a no, like the X is like a fuck off.
Circle
the circle's more like
a circle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I wonder why like it just I don't know, just a weird cultural thing. I don't know why you got switched over here, but I'm so tuned to press that button. I never have too many problems though. I think moving to the Switch and pressing A.
I just forget because I play so many different games. You just forget, you know. I jumped through to PC and everywhere. Sorry, I'm talking a lot.
That's okay.
Oh, you're a good man.
One of the problems I had, because I don't think they actually switched things around in Dragon Quest Builders, is that like the B button is jump, but the A button is the menu. So I kept opening the menu every time I wanted to jump.
Wait, that's on the Switch version?
Yeah,
I think so. I think it's the same.
But I think on the PS4,
but it's just like really annoying because I can't get used to it.
I thought the pressing X in the PS4 version brought up the menu,
yes,
so you still had the same problem, just switched around.
Yeah.
So speaking of that,
I keep opening the menu. I don't want to open the menu.
Nope.
It's annoying as hell.
Have you, Ebbie and Kinross, have you two been playing the Switch version of Dragon Quest Builders?
I have.
My favorite phrase: not as much as I would like. I picked it up last week and I played a little bit of it. It's the same problem that I have with Skyrim at the moment. I have seen / done the start of that game so much that I'm just like, okay, I'm going through the motions. I'm just trying to get through the first world as fast as possible so that I can go on to stuff that I've not seen before.
So tell me about, did they add anything into it? Any
Nope.
new content for the port or anything?
Nope.
Like any additional outfits?
I think they had like pre-order bonuses that were like blocks that you could use depending on where you pre-ordered it from. I didn't pre-order it though because I just went and bought it on the day it came out.
The new content is Dragon Quest Builders 2, which I still think is a Switch exclusive. I'm not sure.
Don't know.
Might be a
Shall I
time
Google
exclusive.
it?
Please do.
Huh.
So yeah, that'll be the new content.
I'm gonna live fact check that.
I apologize for people that are potentially in my background. It sounds like there might be a party about to kick off in the house.
Oh fuck yeah, man!
A party,
right?
Everyone to Kinross's house.
Please no.
Yeah, according to the Polygon article, it's coming to PS4 and Switch.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm surprised it's not going to Vita because again, I've mentioned this before, but when me and Kinross were in Japan, Dragon Quest Builders was fucking huge. Like, it was a portable Vita game.
I think...
Is it not on PC
think
at all?
No.
Oh man, I'd get it on PC. That'd be a fun game. It's like Minecraft.
I think what we're gonna see is... And what I'm most excited about, and I think it's what's kept the Vita. Now this is just Bill talking out of his ass here, like this isn't. But it also makes the most sense. Is that like I think we're gonna see like a game that would have been on the Vita 3 years ago. It's going to be on the Switch now. Like I think because what's kept the Vita afloat once Sony was like, we're done with this fucking thing. We're Japanese devs making RPGs and like portable versions of. Like, because a lot of games would be cross-buy on Vita and PS4. Like, you'd get like Grand Kingdom and there's a few other ones like Odin Sphere and all those things, and it would like keep it rocking. Like, people would still be playing their Vita because Japan loves taking shit on the go. But now it's a Switch, and the Switch is killing it over there. I think a lot of that shit's gonna move over to the more successful portable platform. Like, that shit's gonna be. What we would have seen on Vita 3 years ago, I think we're going to start seeing on Switch, which is exciting because that's going to be a lot of Japanese support, which the 3DS already had. So it'd be nice to see a lot of those Vita devs who weren't exclusive by any means, these developers, move over to making shit for Switch. So that'll be nice because they could do more with it, a lot more with it, and it'll be fun.
That's why we've got all those dating sims that they're making.
Then I can't
wait.
Because then I can play that shit on my TV too. That's what excites me. But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I bought Builders on PS4. I haven't started it yet, so now there's a Switch version. It's like, fuck. I don't know. I would have liked to have it on there, but I probably won't double dip.
It's the same. It's just whether you. appreciate portability or not, which I don't think you do as much as other people, because you like your TV console gaming.
I'm not a big portable guy.
I almost never take my Switch portable. I don't take the Switch much portable either. I've taken it off the dock. Like, I mean, I take it off the dock once in a while to play, like, in bed or something, or like on the couch or something like that. But usually it's in the dock, and I never really take it out the house.
I think
unless I'm traveling, obviously. Unless I travel, I don't want to take my dock with me, so I'll just take it and just sit there. But
yeah, I'm definitely more of a portable person, just because it's easier than
cool.
like, I don't know, sitting here, because this is where I would have to sit to play my Switch on a TV, because my TV's there. So I could play it in bed. That sounds more appealing to me, so that's usually what I do.
Yeah, I think I'm about 50-50, to be honest.
That's what's been so great about the Switch, is like it lets you do that if you want.
I think the longer I had the Switch, the less I used the portability, to be honest. I used it more portability, like the portable aspect when I just got it.
The only reason I've been using it undocked so often lately is because right now my setup's a pain in the ass. Like I used to have an HDMI switcher, so that way when I want to just use because like how are people still making TVs with like 2 HDMI ports in it?
Yeah,
like,
how heaven forbid one. I was looking for a new TV. It was a bloody 50-inch 4K OLED, one HDMI port. What the crap?
Who do they think we are? I mean, like, it's just, so
people with one console or one.
Yeah,
you could either have one console or a set-top box or a Blu-ray player. Make your choice.
Which, like, they make things that let you like split, but like right now my situation is I bought a cheap HDMI like splitter because like I only had my PS4 and my Switch going through. Like I didn't need one with full like 5 ports. But once I bought the VR, that needed to take an HDMI port to go into the PlayStation 4. So like the HDMI cord that I was using to plug the PS4 into the splitter goes into the VR now. So now if I want to put my Switch into the splitter, I have to take the VR set-top box thing out, or breakout box, whatever the hell you'd call it, the breakout box for the PSVR out, and then plug the Switch back in. So I'm like, I don't feel like doing any of that shit. So I've just been taking the Switch out of the dock and just playing it in this chair, which like has been fine.
So it's because it's just inconvenience.
Yeah, I'm just lazy as hell to change my shit.
Okay. Hey, off-topic question: do you recommend the PSVR? Because I've been like, I want to get the Vive, but now that the Vive Pro's coming out, I want to get that, but that's like that's like kind of expensive.
All right, so
but the upgrade of the resolution on it is so freaking. Tempting,
oh yeah,
man.
I hear it's beautiful.
Shit, man.
My thing with VR is like I can't imagine what that's going to look like with the new Vive and like the strides they're making with the resolution increase and stuff, because as far as I know even the regular Vive is still a little choppy next to the PSVR. Like they aren't like it's not super above what PSVR outputs, but dude, once you're in there though, like I love it.
It doesn't
like,
matter
it's one
as
of my
much
favorite,
when you're in there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. Like when you're playing Skyrim and like you initially go, oh man, okay, it's like for compromise sake, like we have a giant open world RPG. They take some and cut some corners with like some aliasing and stuff and some jaggies, and you notice some like oh man, that bush kind of looks ugly. But like once you're in there and you're moving about and you're looking around, you kind of just. And I know that sounds like Billy's trying to sell you, but like
no, I know exactly
really
what you mean,
forget,
dude. Even
like,
when you just check the
what
VR that they have in like
as
Best
you're
Buy,
playing.
when they show bullshit VR and you're like already like holy shit, So I can only imagine, sitting there with Skyrim. I've never actually tried stuff.
Dude,
I tried this
Skyrim.
I tried like a Sword Art Online
incredible.
game like once a long time ago at Anime Expo like ages
you didn't
ago.
Die though.
But dude, I really want to try it. Like PSVR has been very cheap and it's been going on sale a lot, man. I don't get why not to pick it up one of these days.
Currently, I got it on their like Black Friday special, which actually I think that sale is going on again.
I think it is. I think I heard there was a big sale.
Yeah, it's the Skyrim. It comes with everything you need, because if you bought the base unit, you'd get the headset and the camera. Or no, you get the headset.
You have to buy the camera separately, right?
You can get a unit that comes with the camera, or the Skyrim bundle comes with the 2 Move controllers, the camera, and the headset, and the game, and Skyrim. And that on sale, I think I got it for like $350. And when you price out the moves and the camera and the game, that's fucking insane. Like that was an insane. I couldn't pass on it. I was like, I was teetering back and forth between buying an Xbox and a VR. I'm like, you know,
I recently just
stuff
sold
I
my
can-
Xbox, so that wouldn't be a question.
Yeah, most stuff I can play on Xbox that I really want to play, like Sea of Thieves, I can play it on PC. So it's like, you know what, I want to get something that like I've never experienced really, and that's I want to play Skyrim VR. So, but besides Skyrim, dude, there's PSVR's support is awesome. Like,
Dude, I want to play not Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you want to play Final Fantasy.
Shut up. Resident Evil 7 VR.
Dude, it's incredible.
That's what I want to
Like,
experience. I haven't
yeah.
played or touched that game. I've had a chance to buy it a couple times on Steam. It's been hella cheap. But I'm like, no, dude, I'm gonna
VR.
be scared shitless, okay, when I play this.
It's the best way to play it, man. I was playing it with like my family. Like this was before I owned my own. My cousin brought his VR headset over, and we were all like, we set up in the living room because my dad already beat Resident Evil 7 like without VR. Like he played it on his own, and so I'm like, oh, Dad, you got to see this shit. Like you got to like try this in VR. Like, this is amazing. You've already played the game once. You know what it's like. Like seeing it like compare like in a side by side like that. Yeah, like. Dude, sitting in that living room and playing Resident Evil 7 in VR with like my whole family, like sitting around, like my sister, my mom, like, everyone's like putting it on and trying it out. Like, there's a scene in the beginning of the game where you get captured by the Baker family and they sit you down at a dinner table, and you're in VR. You're sitting at this dinner table, and all these creepy like hick maniacs are like trying to feed you like brains and shit. And like in VR, like that's a disturbing scene the way it is, man. But when in VR, like, and everybody is scaled, like. What always impresses me about VR the most is when you are interacting with other NPCs, like other humans. Like when you're going toe to toe with like a bandit in Skyrim, like if you're standing out of your chair, they're like the same height as you, and you feel it like visually, like it feels like you're fucking facing down a bandit. So when you're sitting around that table and everyone's sitting around that table with you are like full-size human beings, it really immerses you. Yeah, it's really great. I highly recommend it.
I've been following VR and all that kind of crap for ages, you know, ever since the original Oculus Rift, you know, before Facebook bought it and all that. Like it's always been like, holy crap, you know, VR. That's been kind of like the direction gaming has been trying to go. It's been the goal, you know, with all these old attempts, you know, with like the shitty attempts to be honest. But it's just like cool that it actually works in a way that it's probably worth the money at this point.
That's what surprised
it works
everybody,
good enough, because before it's like I was like, man, I'm not sure. I remember when the HTC Vive was first announced, that Steam trailer came out, you know, like where everybody's like, holy crap, look, a dog. Like, oh, a dog. They're petting the dog, you know. But that's not actually.
The first reaction to anything new like that is always like, it's cool probably, but like it won't catch on, you know. And you. I did almost
pre-order the HTC Vive when it originally, but it was like $800 and I decided not to. But man, dude, I should have.
Because like you always hear like testimonials of like, oh, like it's really hard to sell unless you try it, and it's always like, yeah, man, but that's a big buy-in, like just to try it. Like I don't know, like you know, to ask that of somebody, like, you know, just to take the leap even if they get motion sickness. But even you saw negativity with like the Switch too, you know. Whenever somebody tries something new, it's like, that's not going to work out the way they want it to. It's gonna be cool, but then, you know, it's gonna drop off. So what's been so impressive is like VR does work, and like it works well, and there are experiences in there that, like, you know, people only could have like when we were watching like Fairly Odd Parents and they're flying through the internet, you know,
about, like in VR. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like, or like, you know, the Futurama episode, you know, where they go into the, like, all of that stuff was always like, oh man, yeah, you know, that's our future. And it's like, we have like probably like never been closer to that.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Than ever.
I feel like with even this HTC Vive Pro, that's another step forward to make it even more of, because I mean, raising the resolution makes it even more immersive. I can't even imagine. I haven't even looked like too much into it and people's reactions and everything, but man, I would love to just try and compare those. But I bet if that's the next step right there, and they're gonna and it's wireless as well. You can buy a wireless kit as well.
That's the big that's the biggest thing. Is like,
even you can buy a wireless kit for HTC Vive original one, but it costs money though.
Probably pretty penny. Like right now, you're kind of like, with everything being wired and the way that you play PSVR, like, you're really kind of limited to where you can set up, because you need to be next to your breakout box and your console, like all that.
And you still feel the wires, and it does still take away from it,
rubbing up on you. Yeah, like people have like things where like they'll like take the wire and like bolt it to their ceiling, so like it doesn't touch them or whatever. Okay. Yeah. so they can move a little bit without tripping over the wire.
That's some dedication
But
right there.
yeah, some people take it real seriously. But yeah, man, once it goes full wireless and like even the stuff that Oculus is proposing to do with where the headset is just the unit, like you don't need a PC or anything hooked up to it. Like you put the headset on and you're in VR. Now, obviously, that won't be stuff like playing Fallout or Skyrim. It'll be probably a low.
I mean, it would be cool if they make a console where you can actually put in programs like that.
Yeah,
into
like
your brain.
a VR experience. Like you look at how successful VR chat has been. Like the social side.
I love
of
the
VR.
VR chat is the funniest stuff I've seen on the internet since probably I started.
It's amazing.
Like getting into YouTube and stuff. Like it's just so original and so new, and it's all over the place. I watch a lot of the people from Russia and Russian jokes and all, and, just different. Every culture is into it, and everybody is just It's so great. I feel like it's the next big thing. I mean, it already kind of is in a way, but it's still not fully there. But once it reaches that point where everybody's gonna want to have VR as having a console, you buy a PlayStation 4. Or an Xbox and it comes with Kinect, it needs to come with that, kind of like that kind of deal. And that's where I think Oculus is looking at when they were bought out by Facebook. When you're bought out by a company that specializes in social interaction through technology, you look at how fast something like VR chat catches on, and you think, man, when Oculus makes that box-free headset where that VR unit is the VR unit, and for a fact Facebook is working on some form of Facebook VR that social VR and chat rooms because who the fuck goes in chat rooms? It doesn't exist anymore. MySpace was the last chat rooms that you would be into,
so,
where they had public ones.
To be fair,
thinking about
do people still use Face? I mean, I'm probably never been, but do people still use Facebook as a social thing, or is it people just sharing baby photos?
I mean, that's social.
People being racist. Is it social?
Yeah,
I don't use Facebook. I never used Facebook really, so I can't really say.
I mean, you look at sharing a baby photo on Facebook. What's the difference between sharing that photo on Instagram? It's all the same.
I mean, Instagram. I also don't understand the social element of that.
I just like baby photos of people I know on Instagram. That's what I do.
I mean, they all kind of blur into each other for me. I mean, I use Twitter the most, but I mean, there's a lot of people who use Facebook.
Twitter is my favorite for sure, because I built
a lot of groups.
At podcasts.
Once we see that, and seeing how people take on to that, because VR chat, getting into VR chat is a costly investment. You need a Vive or an Oculus or a HP mixed reality. The PC VR is expensive to buy in. So once it becomes a more affordable thing, man, and they get rid of the required box, seeing stuff like VR chat is only the beginning really for something like this, and it's super exciting. I love the technology. I think it's
awesome. It's the future that we all want, that we need, we deserve.
I want to play Final Fantasy Fishing Simulator. That's all.
That would be sick. Anything in VR is fun. Okay, if you try it out,
I want to play.
It could be the whole roller coaster stuff. Yeah,
Planet Coaster. That's what you want in VR, to test your roller coasters.
Where you can get on the rides.
Yeah.
In VR.
Yeah. Then you can make sure that the place is
check
perfect for
how
you.
tall you are as well before they let you on.
I'm not tall enough for my own rides.
Oh, no. Buy some platform shoes. Well, that's when people upload the perspective roller coaster videos on YouTube. I'm going to a theme park. Let me see what this coaster is like, and you can almost guaranteed find a video of that coaster.
That is exactly what we ended up doing.
YouTube.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I really don't like roller coasters. So when we went to Tokyo Disney Sea, there's this ride called Journey to the Center of the Earth that my friend really, really wants to go on. I'm I'm gonna have to watch a video of it first, and it didn't look bad at all.
No, it looked completely fine.
I never even
there was like a
2-second
moment of it being a little bit dark, and we're okay, you clearly go through a tunnel and something happens. Turns out that in that tunnel there's a 30-foot drop.
And I seriously do not like roller coasters at all. So I'm thinking, this is gonna be fine. Then it starts speeding up. You go up a bunch, and then you drop down.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that, and I really didn't enjoy it. So, but
I
I'm still
don't
gonna go
know.
to the Nintendo theme park when that happens. So
That's gonna be great.
I would love to
Apart from
find a
not
roller
going on
coaster. I'd love to find a roller coaster that would scare me.
there's a
Okay.
Donkey Kong roller coaster that's supposed to be coming out, where it's supposed to look, because there'll be two tracks. There'll be the track that the like cart sits on, and there'll be a track underneath it that it's actually attached to. So it'll look like you can do the minecart jumps from like Donkey Kong Country and stuff.
That's pretty sick.
I don't think I'm gonna go on that.
Yeah, but you know that it's safe.
Billy, you okay?
I'm into that shit. I want to ride it.
Well, we've already
I'm a-
agreed that we're going to Florida at some point during like
I'm a
2021.
big
So
coaster guy.
Same-
Now, I get
same
like
here.
super anxious about heights when I'm not on a coaster. Like if you know those like things where you walk and like the fucking glass floors under you. I'll shit my pants. But on a roller coaster, take me as high as you want. I'm in a harness. Let's go. I went to Cedar Point, which is a park in the U.S. It has like the most coasters I think in the country, and there's a coaster there, the Millennium
Millennium
Force?
Falcon.
It sounds like a metal band. Millennium Force, I think it was, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Some fucking coaster name. Now Yokurama, you said you're a big coaster guy, yeah? You're a big coaster guy. What seat do you pick usually, man? What seat do you pick?
Well,
front seat?
I like to go front, of course. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's
the
the
best way.
You get to catch the air. You know.
Yeah, and like going over the edge, man, in the front seat is the coolest. This thing was so fucking high. Now, what's scary about that? Now, this one I was a little scared on.
Was it one of
Because
those
they have, like,
freestanding ones where you're
a
actually
lot
only
of
just
those-
clapped in there and your legs are dangling?
Oh, those ones, I'm actually terrified of those ones, actually.
My
mostly
dad
because
tricked me
I
onto
don't
one of
wanna-
those. I did not appreciate
I don't want
it.
to lose my shoes.
Funny story.
But,
we went to
yeah.
a crappy little Cornish theme park called Flambards once, and my brother and my dad went on one of those rides where it sort of goes at a weird angle and spins super fast. My brother had just learnt to tie his shoes, did an awful job. Both of his shoes went flying off somewhere into the park. And later we find, because he was feeling sick, we find a woman in the first aid room who got hit in the face with a shoe.
Dude, that's like some fucking...
Oh man, that could be pretty bad. I mean,
Yeah. So that's like...
is that like a? Is there like a
he
foot-
walks in,
shit, man.
barefoot.
Is there like a
and
foot
we're like,
mark? Is there a foot mark?
Like bump bump. Dude,
my
wow.
God.
What is that? I guess it's
That's Kirby,
Oh, okay.
Kirby Enthusiasm. Yeah, it would be something that would happen in that show. But man, dude, can I rewind that back a second? Dude, you have a theme park called Flambards?
Yes.
Have you ever seen?
Dude, that's the best. That's the
Um,
best name.
There's a roller coaster in the UK that's kind of famous in Alton Towers called Oblivion, which is like a vertical.
glass-
It's like a vertical drop. And they like dangle you over the edge of that for a second to freak you out before they let you go.
The
Yeah.
white knuckle action.
Is that
I
the one
wanted-
that kills people?
No, people haven't died on that one yet.
There's a place in Six Flags in like I think San Francisco or Sacramento or whatever where it costs extra over there, but whatever they tie you up like 100 feet in the air, like you're just on a rope. They tie you up 100 feet in the air. You can either go with a couple of people or you can go with yourself. I mean, it's cheaper. You can like split it with like, up to 3 people. I went with my the buddy of mine. we're up there. It's 100 feet in the air. You're like hanging by a thing, and you're looking down. You're just hanging on a harness, right, on a rope, and you have to pull it yourself to let yourself go. And
Oh, God.
You see this
Oh,
pond.
Jesus.
You see this pond, and you're like looking at this pond. They pull you up there, and you're 100 feet in the air. And they're like, okay, you can pull it, and I'm like, okay, like you see, and then you let go, and then you just swing. It was 100
No.
foot. There's a place somewhere in Florida. They told me is a
awesome,
300-foot swing. When I heard about that place, it's like been in my bucket list. I gotta go there. It's only scary after you pull it and you first fall, but then it's just like so free. You're
Did
just
you,
flying back and forth. It's just so great.
Have you ever seen those alpine rail coasters?
What do you mean?
It's like a giant track that like goes through. like the woods and the mountains, and like you sit in this little like cart. It's usually like 1 or 2 people per like ride.
How you mean like a doubles?
Here, I'll link you guys a video. I talk about it.
I mean, I can't watch
it's truly amazing. Here we go. Yeah. I highly recommend putting it on if you can. But yeah, so like you sit in this little thing, and you're almost like a little monorail track, and you're going through like the mountains and like the woods and like really fast. And I want to go on one so bad, but I don't know if there's any.
That looks hella scary because it's just like on one.
That's the other thing is it. And the thing is there's like rules like because they have so many people getting through, they don't want like any like traffic jams. So like if you're going too fast, you kind of have to keep rocking, or like because if you end up getting too slow, someone's gonna ram your back, and like
so it's in your control.
Oh
yeah,
dude, I definitely
you
tried
control
this.
The brakes.
That looks like hella fun. I'd be scared as hell doing that, but
that's a thrill ride. That's a thrill ride.
All you see is that guy's feet, and it just it's kind of scary looking.
But yeah. Anyway, since we are a video game podcast,
sorry, I meant to ask a long time ago. Skyrim VR, can you play in non-VR mode, or is it always VR? No, okay.
No, yeah.
Well, it's a different version.
Yeah, they developed that whole game for VR.
It's like Fallout VR. You can't play Fallout VR.
Yeah,
you gotta play Fallout VR.
Which I like could understand being a bummer. Like it's like, oh, I don't feel like playing VR. I don't want to continue my save. Because like Skyrim exists already.
Can you not transfer save or something? Or?
No, yeah.
Not
since it's made like differently, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't allow that, but yeah. I mean, like you could technically like, I guess take the headset off and like lay it flat, and then move the camera with the sticks. But it'll just look a little weird. Is all.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, since we are a video game podcast, and we sit down and we talk about what we've been playing, there is something I'm very interested to hear because I've been reading the chat. I've been reading Ebbie, your thoughts on Shadow of the Colossus.
Are you fetching the box? Is that what you're doing?
I'm super.
Yeah.
Ah, shit! I was supposed to borrow it from my friend last night, and I forgot to take it. Fuck!
I didn't even know it was out already.
I'm just making sure that I.
That's awesome. I have the PlayStation 3 remastered HD.
Have you ever played it before, or Yokurama?
Oh yeah, I played it back on the PS2 and I played it back on the PS3, the remastered. I played both of them.
Okay. Because
I do
this is
want
my first time playing it.
I do want to get that. Yeah, I got my friend played. I got my friend to sit down to play the PS3 one, and like I was kind of like seeing what he would be doing and stuff. It was very very fun to watch somebody who has no idea what's going on to play that game.
I'd recommend getting it if you like Shadow of the Colossus because it's so pretty. It's like one of the nicest looking games, and it's got like a camera mode, which is a great feature for Bill.
Love photo mode. Love it.
I thought that there were issues with the camera.
The actual game camera? Don't even talk to me about it.
So could you just keep hopping into photo mode, seeing what's going on, and then playing the game, hop into photo mode?
I could. That would be a really inefficient way of doing it rather than them like making a camera that works.
Oh no, I'm talking about from like your perspective.
So overall, like to set the tone here, did you like the game? Like as a whole?
Yes, but there were parts of it that really pissed me off. I think overall it's a good game. I think it's, well worth playing if you haven't played it before. However, I was expecting so much out of Shadow of the Colossus because it's, people have said for 13 years or something that it's a masterpiece and this amazing game that's just so beautiful and so well done. Some parts of this game, they're not very good. To be honest, the camera gets caught on things really easy. I think it's because the camera tries to be cinematic at all times, which is not often very helpful for
playing
action.
A game.
yeah, like sometimes it looks great. Like the camera does this thing really well where it like portrays this sense of scale between you and the Colossus really, really well. So you feel small when you play Shadow of the Colossus. But it doesn't mean that the camera is like functional in a lot of cases. Like I've had it. I actually sent a video to you and Bill of me not really knowing what I'm doing with this Colossus, and I'm like clung onto the side of him, and the camera is moving like this around where I am, but I wasn't touching the camera stick at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what to do. Couldn't see where I was getting really, really frustrated, and most of my frustrations with the game come from me not being able to see what I'm supposed to do, because either the camera's playing up, or in the case of the last Colossi, it was just so dark that I couldn't see anything. Mm-hmm. I could just see like my character walking around in like this rainy, dark place, and I don't know.
So oh, go ahead, Kinross, because you play it too, Kinross? I don't know.
No, I'm waiting to borrow Ebbie's copy.
That's right.
But I had a question that I'd been holding on to. You had frustrations.
Yes.
Do you think that I could get enough out of the game in the first 3 or 4 Colossi to not have to suffer through the whole thing, or do you think that the whole thing is worth getting through?
I think it's worth trying to get through the whole game, because it's not a very long game. Like, I think I completed it in 4 sessions, and it took me about 5 hours.
Okay.
Like,
just because when I hear like there's 15 or 16 things, it's like, well, that's going to be at least a 10-hour jobby. But...
yeah, there's like 16 colossi, and most of the like in between stuff is optional. Like, you can go and pick fruit from trees, and that gives you more health, or you can find these lizards that give you more stamina. But you don't have to.
Okay.
So you could just go from boss to boss, and because like the thing is, it's all about your skill. It's not about you gaining new stuff that makes you better. It's all about you learning and getting better and recognizing patterns that they have. Sorry, my voice is like really weird today. Because how I would describe Shadow of the Colossus would be like a puzzle game more than anything, I think, because you have to figure out what the weak point is, how to expose that weak point, and you know what's gonna work and what's not going to work.
Okay.
But yeah, I went through like a really rough time with the 3rd Colossi, because like, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but part of his armor is supposed to break, and there is a very specific way to make it break, which I was doing ever so slightly wrong. So it wasn't breaking, so I thought, well, I don't have to do that then, and then just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to actually do. I ended up looking at a walkthrough on YouTube that someone had recorded on the PS2
with a camera.
With a camera pointed
Still
at a
relevant.
CRT TV.
It's still relevant, right? That's awesome. That's pretty interesting. Man.
That's so funny that in that guy's life,
He didn't.
like,
he
he
didn't
made
know.
that video.
He didn't know. He never knew that some lady from freaking across the world probably.
Yeah, I really needed that video at that moment.
Like, thank God.
So, I'm trying to remember, because this is like The Last of Us just got like a minor graphical boost when it came from PS3 to PS4. They flat out redid everything for Shadow of the Colossus, right?
Apparently,
was that just on the art level? Like, they didn't
full remake.
recode the entire thing, they just did the art again.
As far as I understand, it's a ground up remake. I mean, at least
Because that makes me like, if it's truly from the ground up, I'm wondering whether the camera was as bad as it is now.
Yeah, how was the camera in Shadow of the Colossus on PS2 and PS3?
I don't remember it bothering me too much. It did get annoying, but like, I'm pretty okay with cameras. I've played a lot of shitty games on PS1 and stuff. Like, that's what I grew up on, you know. And that's where Like
those
and
D-pad cameras.
Nintendo 64 and PS1. That's like the worst era for
Yeah,
cameras.
let's talk about the Mario 64 camera.
Yeah, so I learned to live with that, you know. So when it got to the PS2, like stuff like that didn't really bother me anymore, you know. So I can't.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
somebody asks on GameFAQs before they released the Shadow of the Colossus collection on PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Somebody asks, Eagles 5769 asks,
Is the camera fixed?
I remember having major issues with camera angles at certain spots in the game. Do you think they could fix this?
Well, hey,
So, yes.
you can have
No.
yo,
No, they can't.
You can have anyone complain about camera angles in any game.
Well, that's true.
Come on, I mean,
That's true.
every game
But-
has camera angle problems at least
but-
once. Okay, you'll
to
be like,
answer-
oh, what, this is annoying, but it doesn't matter, you know.
I'm
To
gonna
answer
I'm gonna link a
Kinross's
video.
question, though, yeah, that's now what it sounds
But
like
there
to
probably
me,
some shitty camera angles. Just saying. I mean, if it's still PS2,
Yeah, I'm gonna link a video just so
saying.
you know what I'm sort of like talking about in terms of my experience with the camera.
what it sounds like to me with
I do wanna see it, too.
this developer's like history is that they do so many things fantastic, and for reference, Last Guardian was my GOTY 2016. I love that game to death. But like there are some control things to wrestle in that game, and there are, whether it be Trico's AI, which is for the most part okay, but there are instances of movement in camera and climbing and things like that do get a bit like, Jesus fucking Christ, man, come on, like what the fuck, like, you know, and it reminds me of playing like the older Assassin's Creed games when like you just scream, instead of like 60% of your time is spent screaming at fucking like Ezio or Arnold. It's like, dude, I didn't fucking want to do that. Stop it, camera, fucking stop touching shit. So like that, The Last Guardian had a bunch of that. So it seems like they just can't nail certain things too well over there, in favor of maybe spending more time on something else. It would seem.
Yeah.
And would it be possible to like link this video in the description so other people listening could like see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What you're talking about? Yeah. So we'll put Ebbie's video in the description so you guys can see
With the
like,
title.
It looks
help,
like
help.
it looks like a delay in the camera figuring out what the hell it wanted to do. That's for sure.
It's just the thing that frustrated me during that in particular was I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, and I'm there clutching onto the side of the thing. The camera's going crazy, and I'm like, what do I do? So there were like a few instances of that, but then when it gets things right, it feels amazing. It
But,
feels
hey,
like one of the most incredible games to play.
Can it kind of add to the experience of like being like hanging on for your life type of feeling? Like, can it actually add? Like, that's a memorable moment now for that game, right? For you, like that moment where you could just be like, okay, I was hanging
What
on
have
for
you
my
seen,
life.
Bill?
I have no idea what's going on. The camera's all over. It's like your like head is probably flying all over the place.
No,
I felt like I was Wanda, yeah.
It's just a really funny. It's just a really funny argument.
No, I mean, it might be stupid to say, but unless it happens all the time. If it happens all the time, that's fucked up. But if it's just like a few, like you said, it didn't take you that long to beat the game. If it was like a few times or something throughout the whole game,
Yeah.
like
You know what would really add a sense of scale?
What?
If it was in VR.
Fucking
that game would be so
VR
sick,
would
man.
be terrifying.
That'd be so sick.
They made a little last. They made a little Last Guardian thing in VR where you could hang out with Trico. That's incredible.
Oh, wasn't that like a free 20-minute
Yeah.
download sort of thing?
Yeah,
Man, dude, that'd be
chilling
very
with
nice.
Trico.
Like, okay, I enjoyed Shadow of the Colossus a lot. I think, Bill, you would love it. I think, Kinross, you might hate
Probably.
it. Because I think there are just, like, a few things about it that are pretty jank.
I don't mind jank.
That's the
It
thing that makes
depends
me
on
think,
like.
is it a remake or is it a remaster? Is because some of it feels so archaic and janky that you're like, shouldn't you fix this if it's a remaster, remake?
I'd love to see. I'd love to see like how Blue Point does things, because like every asset's remade. Like there's no old stuff left on that screen from the old game. But I wonder if it is a case of applying their new assets over the old game's engine, if that's even fucking possible. Like, I don't even know how that shit works. So yeah, like, it makes you wonder, because if it plays so mechanically close to the old game, that to the point where even the camera issues are replicated, like, it almost makes you think, like, oh man, did they?
No, I think it's probably like the game wise is when they talk about remaster, it's more about the graphics. I think that's what they mean.
I think that boxes need to distinguish between remake and remaster at this point.
I mean,
that by the looks of the gameplay, it looks quite similar to back even on PS2 and PS3. I mean, the PS3 was just like graphic upgrade. This looks like that's all I thought it was. I didn't think if they would remake the gameplay and everything, it wouldn't be the same game technically.
It says on the back of the box, live the adventure that defined a generation, masterfully remade with stunning visuals, enhanced performance, and intuitive new controls. So
I was gonna say, I mean, because a remaster is just touching up the edges with the visuals typically. So like this is a straight like Resident Evil
new controls. I mean, maybe they got like different way you could control the camera or something.
They did actually have like, you can't remap the controls completely, but you can switch between new controls and classic controls.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Did you try both controls or no? No. Just play
like both of them seemed. I will say the new controls fucking hurt my fingers so bad. Like about here on my hand. It just ached, and I was like, I'm just too old to play video games now because I'm getting arthritis or something from playing them. But it hurt, like I had to actually stop playing because you always have to hold down R1 if you want to like hang on to something. And R2? One of the like R buttons. You have to hold that down to like hold on to stuff, and then the other one is like the aim button. So if you want to like
look up,
shoot an arrow or whatever. But it's just like you're always holding down the shoulder buttons in some sort of capacity. It just hurts. Like, it's not very comfortable to play, I don't think. So I think it's probably like a game that you would play in like
bursts.
I'll do like 3 Colossi and then I'll stop for a bit and then I'll do another 3. But I ended up powering through the last 7 in like one sitting. So
that sounds like my the end of my Persona 5 playthrough where like if you would have asked me halfway through that final dungeon what I thought of Persona 5, I probably would have told you I hated it.
Hate the last Colossi. I hate the last Colossi so bad. It's just, it wasn't fun. And because it had this thing where you were like, you had to jump between things, and if you missed that jump, you'd just fall and you would lose like all of your progress and you just have to start all over again. And it didn't like highlight weak points and stuff that you needed, and it was just fucking awful. Like, I don't understand how it was so bad. And it sucked that was the last thing I have to remember of that game, because it's like that, and then you press like a few more buttons and it's over.
How much is that game priced at?
It's a budget title, so it was like £24 here, so I think it's about $30 over there or something like that.
30, 35, something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is like a decent price.
I think if
how short it is.
I think if it's like if I wait a little bit, I bet you it's gonna drop even more. I mean, it's just one of those games. I'll probably buy it when it's like $20 or something, and just play it. And then if it's the same as my PS3 one, I'm probably just gonna sell it or something. I mean, if it's just a graphic upgrade or whatever, like it
is a very nice looking.
Yeah,
game,
I know, but the PS3 version compared to the PS2 version also looks very nice. Unless it just blows my mind. I know that the trailers look nice and stuff, but unless I'm like playing and it blows my mind, and I've played the PS3 version not long ago, and I think that still looks pretty nice too. I mean, it's still HD remaster. This is like HD remaster, you know? It's like so
it really
many...
comes into what you want to spend your money on, you know? If you like that game a lot,
I still want to play it. I still want to,
and you remember it very fondly. Like the fact that they remade every asset and with modern day
pixels.
I feel like I feel like I owe it already, because at this point I already beat the first one and the PS2 one and the PS3. I feel like I kind of have to.
Well, you gotta go for the PS4 one, and then
like if I don't,
the PS5 version and the PS6 version, which they probably fucking.
Then I'm gonna have to write a letter. Then I'm gonna have to write a letter to just stop, please.
I'm curious about.
Only do so much.
I'm curious about how I will like The Last Guardian or not.
That's now.
I still haven't.
At points, I fucking hated Shadow of the Colossus, but like I've come away from it, I've thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, it was good.
That's what I was like. that was the thing I wanted to ask you the most. Mostly was like because I was thinking about it 2 nights ago. Just thinking about like today recording whenever, and I'm like, oh man, I want to ask her about Shadow of the Colossus, and I know that like there are instances, and my mic might be cutting out. Is it cutting out?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
Yeah. See, yeah. There's a weird thing that happens. Sorry, people listening. Yeah, there's a weird thing that'll happen every like 30 minutes, and nothing happens to the Audacity file, but like my screen gets a little jittery. I don't know I don't know if it's a setting or something because I haven't really. I think I didn't have any problems with the live stream, but anyway, I was like, there are moments where like I immediately thought of Persona 5 where it's like, I wanted to beat that game in that final sitting, and it turns out there was like fucking 2 dungeons left I didn't know about. And I was just angry, like just super angry at that final portion of the game, like to the point where like that final boss fight, I just wanted it to fucking end so bad. I hated it. And after I beat that and the final cutscene washed over me, and I then thought of, I actually had this experience with Twin Peaks Season 3 as well, where I've sat back afterwards and like all the problems I had with it, I would think about it after the fact, after the initial like rage wears off of like, yeah, you know what, I'm glad I had that experience. I'm not as like off standish with it. And I was curious if that would happen with Shadow of the Colossus for you, of like a, like this shit. So, and like it doesn't mean that those parts are not bad, but like afterwards, like yeah, what, like all things considered,
I was genuinely furious when I was like,
but I was giving
awesome.
Isn't
I
it
was
kind of
giving
awesome,
Kinross
though?
and Bill like live commentary of me doing the last boss, but I ended up like thinking about it. And I really do think that Shadow of the Colossus is a good game. But at the time I was like searching, is Shadow of the Colossus overrated on Google, just trying to justify my opinions.
Now Last Guardian, now I hold that game very dear. That would be a nervous one for me, like for you guys to play. Like if because some issues persist, I feel like, from what I'm hearing anyway, like from what hearing your Shadow of the Colossus thoughts, like some issues persist with like this game does not control 100% right, or at least the way you'd expect a character to move, and do things. And then added on top of that some Trico frustrations of like, Trico, I want you to go here, dude, and then he doesn't fucking listen.
After seeing how some of the like Colossi act, me thinking about trying to control Trico just like sounds like a nightmare, and I don't want it.
And what's interesting about Last Guardian is like he won't listen to you as much. What makes Last Guardian so like special for me, and I think you'll like it, Ebbie, as a previous owner of chickens, and other pets. I think like depending on how much you like pets will determine how much you like Last Guardian, because there's a very like natural like peak where you're getting closer to Trico, and he will listen to you more as like he favors you more, and like he's a little stubborn in the beginning, and but as you guys go through so much together, like the experience of like not only do you get used to playing it as a player and get used to the BS, but there is like an actual artificial intelligence there that is warming up to the player that is really interesting. I think you might like Last Guardian more, I think.
Yeah.
I really want to try that Last Guardian game as well. I know it was hyped for so long, and I just kind of I was kind of hyped along for a while, but then eventually I kind of realized that this game is probably not going to come out for a while, and then I kind of forgot about it. I forgot about it, and when it came out, I kind of remembered after it came out. I'll be like, oh shit, isn't that game that they were talking about a while ago?
The thing about the Last Guardian as well is that it's really cheap here now, so I could easily get a copy of that at some point soon and be... Once I've forgotten how frustrated Shadow of the Colossus made me, obviously. And then I would probably play that. And then I kind of want to play Ico. I just want to see what that's about. Because I don't know anything about Ico.
You think that's going to get a PS4 remaster? Because it got a PS3 remaster.
I'd be surprised if it didn't, if Shadow of the Colossus does well.
Yeah, it should. It probably... Maybe as a DLC even, or something like that. Because I mean, that's
it's probably not very long.
What I have played of Ico is what's putting me off playing Shadow of the Colossus or...
Yeah, it's a really love or hate game for sure. I mean, I know some people that are just insane.
I just hate escort missions, and that game is an escort mission.
Don't you have to like hold the girl's hand?
Ico was more annoying.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is you only have to sort of like control a horse, and that's the closest you've got to an escort mission in Shadow of the Colossus. So
Escort the horse.
Aggro, which like Andy played some of it, and he kept on calling the horse Arrow, and he does it just to piss me off. I swear to God, but like, no, it just annoyed me. Anyway.
So the horse isn't called Artax or whatever it is.
No, it's called Aggro.
So
Not Arrow.
Well, actually, I know what you did play. Besides that,
Yes.
and that's something Kinross and I also play. Now,
Mira.
I need to go and use the bathroom, so I'm gonna be right back.
Sure.
And you can ramble for a minute.
We were supposed to all beat the first world of Kingdom Hearts.
Did you not do it?
Wait, why? You guys are playing a game together?
Trying to,
we're gonna try to keep progress up with Kingdom Hearts
Together at the
I
same
didn't
time?
beat-
You guys start at the same time, and then you guys try playing? Oh, shit.
kind of.
Yeah.
Like they're ahead of me a bit. Like, and then like in each episode we'll talk about like one world at a time.
Okay. That's awesome.
But I didn't beat Wonderland. I ended up not playing much of anything really over the last week.
Been busy.
Which led me to it's like all of that started leading me to making the spreadsheet and all that stuff. You know, it's just been a really hectic. But even though it's probably not even that long, you know. But I just didn't get around to finishing that. But I mean, I can still talk about Kingdom Hearts in general. But I actually have a really Now, this is a story. Okay,
All
from my
about
break
how
room.
My life got...
I was sitting
gaming
outside,
life got flipped upside down.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my break room yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Okay, by myself.
Okay.
This girl comes in.
Well, then
sits
you went
down
by yourself.
at a table. Well, I was sitting by myself, and this girl comes in.
Okay. Does she work there?
Sits at this. Yes. Yeah, everyone should work there. if they're in the break
Just
room.
checking.
So this girl sits down. Okay. This other kid comes in and sits like across the room from this girl. Okay. Now, I want to preface, this story is my greatest test of fortitude in my life.
Were they giving
Because
each other like the flirty eyes, and you were just like sat in the middle?
Dude, if they were giving each other flirty eyes, one of them was doing a bad job. So what happens? Now, there's a reason I'm telling
Was
this
one
story
of them
in the
me?
middle of...
Were you actually in my break room?
There's a reason the story fits in this part of the podcast. So he's sitting across the way. She's sitting on her phone, clearly not wanting to be bothered. Okay?
Last time that I'm gonna interrupt. Does
Sure.
Does she drop something of his on the floor, and he says, "You'll pay for that"?
No, I wish. It's even worse, man. It's even fucking worse. Okay. So this girl's sitting there. It's raining. He asks her a question about work. Now this girl like trains like some of the new hires and stuff like that. So like he's a little newer. I've seen him around. So he's sitting across the way. He asks her a question about how to do something. I'm sitting there. At this point, once I hear them start talking, I mute my music. I want to, this kid's kind of weird to me. I want to hear what he's saying. So he asks her a question about, how to do something. And she goes, oh, yeah, that's all you do. Or whatever. Answers the question. Goes back on her phone. Clearly not wanting to talk. Then it's raining. He brings up the weather. He's like, oh, man. And he sounds like this, okay? I'm not making this up. This isn't theatrics. He sounds like this. Oh, man, I'm going to hate to have to drive home in that. And she goes, oh, yeah, hopefully it clears up before I leave. And looks at her phone again. Like, all right, dude, please stop talking to me, And he goes, oh, yeah, well, maybe the rain will get harder. Like, one, why would you say that first? Whoa.
It's not the only thing.
Oh, no. Why is that? I wasn't expecting it to get so crazy right away.
It gets worse, man. It gets fucking worse, okay?
All right, go.
So now that was 30 seconds of silence, okay? And I'm sitting there like, okay, that was a little weird, conversation. Awkward, cringy. But I have to put my music back on, okay? I fucking shit you not. Unprompted, there is no tell that this question should be asked to any stranger.
No.
Unless you know something beforehand about them that would prompt you to ask this next question. But this kid takes his head up from looking down at his table, looks in her direction, and says to her, so, do you play Kingdom Hearts? And I'm sitting there, and I instantly start, laughing to my... I had to get up and get water from the water cooler, because I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Why would you ask that? He just went for it. Not even oh man, oh, so what do you like to do after work? Or, oh, what? No, just right to fucking Kingdom Hearts. Like, just threw up the fucking bomb. Fourth quarter, clock is out of time. It's fourth down. It's the Super Bowl. And so, do you play Kingdom Hearts? And she's like, oh, I think I remember that on my brother's PS2. I'm back on her phone, like, dude, she doesn't want to talk about Kingdom Hearts. Dude, you gotta slow it down, man. No,
like, start with something smaller.
Reel it the fucking. Especially Kingdom Hearts. You want to bring up like video games, like, oh, you know. So, like, you know, what, do you like to play games or anything? Instead of just, like, straight into the Sora and Mickey Chronicles. Holy hell.
Please tell me that you chimed in and said, actually, I've just started Kingdom Hearts.
Dude, I honestly couldn't find a spot. I was just sitting there like, dude, I felt bad for like, this kid had showed tenacity.
You could have helped him out, man. You could have been like, holy shit,
man,
Kingdom Hearts. That's the coolest stuff right now on the block.
The last hour and a half, the first hour and a half, man.
Like, whoa, holy shit, man! You play fucking Kingdom Hearts, dude? What a fucking badass!
That's
That's badass.
That's badass.
That's badass, man! Holy shit!
Is that your impression of you?
You're the man.
That is how I would. That's how I talk at work. Yeah, it was all
gotta be. That's how.
Hey, motherfucker, you ready to do it? Anyway, so that happened. So that Kingdom Hearts has been on my brain so much because of that.
It's the universe telling you.
I hope he's doing well. After
you think
that,
he's beating it?
He's heartless now.
Oh. He started talking more about it. There's like this conversation goes on.
Did he spoil it for you? Did you fulfill your New Year's resolution of being spoiled by this guy trying to hit on someone?
He was just. He started bringing up like Raspberry Pis and stuff like that. Like, this girl has no clue what you're talking about, dude.
That's pretty.
Yeah, this girl has no clue what you're talking about. Like, there is no connection going on here. Like, ease your way into that stuff. Like, oh, hey, did you ever make a modified arcade table with a Raspberry Pi? It's like,
oh, like the computer, not the food stuff.
No, no, I haven't. Excuse me, would you call me? Like,
dude, imagine if she was into one specific little thing and he would have guessed it. Okay, come on, man.
I think that was his play. I think. If like
double
you would have said one thing like a brony who's into My Little Pony, and she would be like, "Oh my fucking shit, you know, this is it. This is what I was.
This is my husband.
He's the one.
You know, it could have been anything, man."
Because I know I can only relate. Like, back when I was in high school, I loved finding kids who played WoW. You know. But I never.
It was
like,
always so
up,
awkward, like talking to people about video games.
Yeah.
And everything back then.
But I never like met someone for the first time. I was like, oh, what? So you play World of Warcraft or something? Like, what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck.
Okay,
out.
never mind. Okay, never mind. Next person. You play World of Warcraft?
Oh, but before I go, do you use a Raspberry Pi? Like,
you look like the kind of guy who wows.
Anyway, dude, if for some reason this guy's listening to this, he's one of our only listeners, buddy. I appreciate the, you know, I don't have the balls to do something like that, but dude, you gotta
hey, maybe he thought he saw a moment where she gave the face of a person who likes
Kingdom Hearts.
Who likes Kingdom Hearts.
Did they have a look?
Yeah, maybe there was a moment.
You're usually wearing
listen,
Kingdom Hearts t-shirts.
Listen. You said she walked in, he walked in afterwards, right? Maybe he walked in, he looked across the room, and she had that face.
What is the Kingdom Hearts?
I don't have the face. I don't play the game. You guys should know better than me.
Oh.
But hey, the face, and he went for it. It's okay, man. No worries.
I feel like I've had conversations like that with people, but it's usually been like they've been completely drunk and I've been quite sober.
Maybe he was drunk. That's another thing. I mean,
maybe because that's the only reason that someone would randomly ask a stranger if they played Kingdom Hearts.
I love that leap. So speaking of Kingdom Hearts, we all now, Ebbie, you were gone when I admitted my unfortunate
failing.
I didn't beat Wonderland yet. I didn't get around to beating the first world.
How did you make progress in Wonderland, or did you get did you even get there?
I got to the point where Alice goes missing.
Okay.
So you're nearly at the end of.
Yeah. Like I'm not that far from it, but like I just didn't get back to it. You know.
How many hours are you into the game, guys? Just saying, asking.
3 maybe. I'm like
4 or 5.
I think I'm about 5 hours in.
That's like 15 hours combined. No, I'm just kidding.
But I started the other 2 worlds that are accessible to you after Wonderland.
Okay. I've started the one of them.
I keep saying like Wonderland. I Can't say
So
Wonderland, apparently.
So we've been making fun of Kingdom Hearts, not in a malicious
You'll
way.
pay for that.
Yeah, in the past we've made fun of Kingdom Hearts. So like this is kind of our way to like make amends for that, and we're playing it and see it for ourselves. Are you two liking it? Are you liking it? Yoko, have you ever played Kingdom Hearts?
Is this the first Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
very
shit!
first Kingdom
I
Hearts.
played like 4 hours of it, and that's pretty much.
So you've
it.
played about as much as us. Between us, we've played
Yeah.
20 hours of the game.
That's pretty great.
So at 20
Why are
hours
you
in,
playing the first one? Well, I thought you guys were playing some HD remake 3.0.
Oh, the HD
yeah,
remake
yeah.
of the first
What
one.
the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
1.5.
it's the HD
Oh, okay.
PS4.
I'm
version,
talking
yeah.
about PS2 era days. That's
I think
why
it's
Oh,
just
no,
the
yeah.
same game,
That's-
it just
yeah.
looks a bit nicer.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
Yeah.
try
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Janky
should
game.
try it. You guys are gonna keep
Yeah,
playing
get it, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey.
Until we beat it.
You guys, how many hours is that game? You guys know? You guys Google it?
I did check, I think it's about 60 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a big one.
what? You guys gonna?
So
you guys
between
gonna-
us, we're a
Oh,
third of the way
wait.
there.
Wait. You guys gonna play the whole game? I'm gonna beat it first. Saying.
That's us.
Okay.
Hey Google,
It's a race.
how
It's
long
now-
did it
it's
take
now
to
a
beat Kingdom
race.
Hearts 1?
Just, I gotta go buy it first.
God damn it. You're useless.
Okay.
So,
Wait, so we gotta be. Where are we gonna be next episode? Like 20 hours in?
Next episode, I guess, would be
yeah.
next
It's a
world,
month
maybe
from
2
now.
worlds in.
it's a month from now. So yeah, we'll assess where we're
A
at.
month
I mean,
from
te-
now?
Next recording.
Holy
Yeah, that's
shit.
episode. That's how
I
episodes
forgot
go.
you guys do episode a month. That's a good idea. Just gotta say.
I mean, technically, we did 2 worlds, Ebbie and I, because there's Traverse Town and then there's
So
Wonderland.
Bill is just behind.
Yeah, Bill's like an hour behind
Well,
us.
I think I didn't I do Traverse Town too?
Yeah,
Let
you
me
would
do
have
that.
to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
to Wonderland. You've done Traverse Town, so I'm saying that we've done 2 worlds. So we could
Can I
do.
talk
Wait,
about,
so
two.
are you-
talk
let
about
me
the
ask-
worst thing about this game, though?
You guys enjoying it?
the QB. What's it
The
called?
gummy ship.
The gummy ship, traveling back and forth between worlds, and going from Traverse Town, stocking up on potions, and then going back to Wonderland, and then realizing, wait, I didn't buy enough. I've got to go back again.
The gummy ship fucking sucks. I don't know how
I don't know
anyone
how
has
to
ever
aim
defended the gummy
that
ship.
gun.
So, anyway.
So you guys enjoying this game?
I don't know if Bill's
I am.
actually screaming or the microphone cut out.
I'm enjoying my time. You know, I played it a bit back in the day, way back in the day.
Yeah,
My brother
that's like-
played
like I
mostly,
played it,
and
like,
I
a
would like
few
watch
hours.
him play, and so like I was familiar with like the beginning, like when you're on the island before you depart and all that stuff. But it's been a while since I played any of it like myself, and so like I'm enjoying myself. Like it's an interesting experience because like the Disney characters, like it's a straight up melodramatic JRPG, and there is dialogue in this game that makes me fucking laugh out fucking loud. There is a scene when you meet Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, who I think he calls himself Leon in this game. You meet him, and he spouts this shit at you, where he goes, "The darkness are after the Keyblade." They're after, and then he goes, "Sora," and not he doesn't even take a fucking breath. He goes, "The darkness are after the Keyblade."
He has the same
darkness are
voice
after
as your coworker. Holy shit!
The darkness are after the Keyblade, or the darkness after the Keyblade. The darkness are after Sora's heart because he has the Keyblade. And it's like, what the hell, buddy? Like, there's darkness in all of our hearts. Okay, dude, I just want to go find my friends.
So thus far, I have a couple of questions. Is the
About the
Keyblade? Yeah, is the Keyblade chosen Sora because he is pure of heart or something, or is it just random?
I don't know. I think it's
maybe
just the
maybe
protagonist.
we'll find out, but at the
I
moment,
I don't think we're ever gonna find any of this shit out. I feel like we're
that's what
gonna play this
I'm
game-
hoping that we come to some like massive revelation, all of us at the same time, and suddenly we're like, "Holy crap, Sora is God!"
Yeah, but
There's
that
so
could
many
be it.
fucking games as well. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at the back.
Well,
of
some
this.
of them are films. Some of them are films because they cut out the game part. You're just watching the cutscenes.
for the collection. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe Sora is like Walt Disney. Like maybe he's like, yeah. Maybe
So,
that's
so
it's a twist.
from my understanding, the human people are all from Final Fantasy games, right? Past or present. Is Sora original to the game, or is he from something else?
Sora's design is now. I've never actually looked this up, but his design and his outfit is very much ripped right out of another SquareSoft game called The Bouncer, which I don't know. I can't be the only one who's been thinking this for fucking 16 years. But he looks literally like, I forget the guy's name from The Bouncer, but he's dressed exactly like the guy from The Bouncer. Which I have to wonder if, like, oh man, The Bouncer was unsuccessful. Let's just take his outfit and throw it in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
His name is Scion.
Scion, yeah, there we go.
Scion? Cool. That's a cool name.
Let me see if I do this. Let me
That's
type
a league
in
name.
The Bouncer Kingdom Hearts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they show off... yeah, here we go.
The Bouncer does not sound like a game that would have a character design like that.
I mean, it sounds like...
Put an image in the... But, very similar.
Okay.
The Bouncer was like a beat-em-up game, which I fucking loved. And I don't know if they ever made another one or anything like that. But,
yeah, that looks like pretty close.
I actually also noticed that one of Ebbie's, like, requirements for the game to be good was that there were chocobos. Did you notice the drawing of the chocobos?
No.
In the cave, there is something alongside a scribble of Donald Duck that looks very much like a scribble of a chocobo. So I presume that they exist. I think I've got a screenshot of it, so I can send it to you. But yeah, I'm so far as I got the first time round. I still hated fighting that Wonderland boss because platforming in PS1 or PS2 era games sucks.
Yeah, you're gonna love there's like another world, I think it's the third one, which is basically just about platforming. It's so good.
I mean, platforming is fine so long as your survival isn't attached to it.
No, but it does take you, like, it doesn't warp you back to where you fell if you fall out of the world. It takes you down a few levels to a different place entirely.
Okay.
Which is great. I've got to be honest, I thought I would like Kingdom Hearts so far more than I do.
So you thought you'd like it more than you do at the minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, it's just like the first 3 worlds on... The selling point for me with Kingdom Hearts is that it's Disney and a JRPG. I really, really, really like Disney a lot. But the first 3 worlds that I've seen are attached to movies I don't care about that much. So I'm not, like, attached to...
Which were the 3 movies?
Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if you two are okay with me telling the next 2.
I know one of them.
I don't give a shit.
Wasn't one of them like Aladdin or something?
I don't know, but the first 3 worlds are Alice in Wonderland, Hercules, and Tarzan.
Yes. Oh, I love Hercules.
I like Hercules, but I don't love what I've played of the Hercules.
I also like
far.
Tarzan, like, not the game, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
I didn't play. I don't remember.
I'm not too fussed about Tarzan, but if it is, because I could tell from the copyright notices that it was going to be a thing. I'm kind of glad that it's quote unquote early on. Get it out of the way.
But
yeah.
I don't know. There's just like, it's not like The Hunchback of Notre Dame or whatever, which is like that's my favorite Disney film. Which I do know is in Kingdom Hearts at some point, so I am looking forward to that. I just sort of want to get through Kingdom Hearts 1 as quickly as possible, because apparently Kingdom Hearts 1 is not very good, but Kingdom Hearts onwards, I don't know, is apparently very good. And Kingdom Hearts 3 looks fucking amazing, so...
Monsters Inc., yo!
Toy Story. Incredible. And I'm still holding out that there will be Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts 3. I will guarantee
no doubt.
it. I will bet my feet on it. I am waiting for the E3 trailer with Darth Vader's breath to introduce it. That's still going to happen.
The bad news is, before we get Kingdom Hearts 3, we also have to play Kingdom Hearts 2.7, which is not in this, so...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like side game that bridges whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't even,
That would
Kingdom
make it
Hearts,
like an 8-game trilogy.
Final Mix, 356 times 2 Final Days, 2.5 Final Mix, 2.8 Final Chapter Remix. Like, guys, what are you doing? They love rap mixtapes as Square. Like, it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm enjoying the game a bit. I mean, a little bit that I've played anyway. You know, like I'm only a few hours in, but the combat seems pretty simple, at least from like what I have unlocked anyway.
You'll have the problem very soon where Donald will die very quickly, and then you won't have a healer. Although he doesn't have a healing spell, so it doesn't really matter.
So, like, the most important thing that I did was change the combat rules for Donald and Goofy so that they use potions only in emergencies, which is only when someone actually dies. But
which is a good idea.
Yeah,
like, the
it
pro
sucks
tip
that they
is
can't
just
use it on you.
Yeah, load Goofy up on potions because he has 5 item slots, whereas Donald only has 2 for some reason, and early game the healer of the party doesn't have a healing spell.
Yeah.
So he's not a healer, he's just like this shit dude who dies in 2 hits and then just like eats up your potions because
that was the other
that's
thing.
an emergency.
Because I thought that he had a healing spell, I made it so that he did 0 offensive spells and only did defensive and supportive stuff. So Donald literally spent the entire fight doing nothing other than hitting him with a stick a couple of times because I told him not to, because I thought he'd heal me.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of flaws with the early game, in the fact that you don't have a healer, and that the first boss in Wonderland is ridiculously hard for how early game is, because you don't have anything. Like you have a spell,
2 spells.
2 spells maybe. You don't have like a cure spell for your healer. Your tank's a bit shit, and you barely do any damage. And the boss is just like reliant on platforming and just absorbs hits because he can only be damaged in like this part of him, but he's got this whole part of him going on as well.
Yeah, and you can't quite jump as high as that part, so that's where you've got a platform. And then there's a part where he's miles away from the platforming, so you're basically just waiting for him to get closer or to get a few lucky shots in every now and again. So
it's like such a stupid boss for how early game it is. It's so dumb.
Yeah. But
because you'd expect like the difficulty to ramp up, which makes me nervous about how hard it's going to get later on. Oh, and apparently the questions that you answer in the beginning define how you level up in the game. So
I've remembered that too late.
Apparently if you pick like the first answer for all of them, you level up early game quicker. If you pick the middle answer, you level up mid game quicker, and if you pick the last answers, it's end game that you start to level up quicker. And it's like, how am I supposed to guess that from these Final Fantasy X characters asking me these really bizarre questions about what my fears are? Like,
I was looking up a walkthrough just on a like tips thing for the boss, and people were like, "Yeah, I'm running this build." I'm like, "What? What?"
The min-maxers.
Yeah. No, they were doing it the hard way for the extra challenge.
I'm a max minner, I guess, then. I don't know.
Well, cool. I'm looking forward to getting further, because right now, like, you know, we don't have much to go off of, really.
No.
You know, in terms of, but we started it.
Yes.
That's
I have a question for the audience, and I'll cut it if you think it's a stupid question. Should we, or would you prefer, audience / Ebbie and Bill, if Kingdom Hearts Talk was still in like the main episodes, or was a separate thing that can head into other games if we decided to all play the same thing, a la Hatoful Boyfriend was that one time?
I think a separate thing might be good, because then we can talk spoilers if we need to.
Good point.
Expect,
And if you don't care about Kingdom Hearts, you don't have to listen to it. So I guess maybe we'll separate it out.
Yeah, because it'll end up being a sizable chunk of each episode, I think.
As we go on.
Like, oh, well, I know 40 minutes of every Permadeath is about fucking Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to watch it.
It'd be nice to, track our progress through these 6 games and movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
So,
the movies will be so easy. We
Like
could just
that,
we could have like a movie club. We could be like, hey guys, let's watch Days Dream 6365 over 2 or something.
Kingdom Hearts 358 2 days.
Such a stupid name. Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. But, yeah. Kingdom Hearts.
Cool. Cool.
So is it worth
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know, I sort of
No,
went through hell to try and get a copy of it, so
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm hoping
if-
that,
if
like,
it is-
once we get past, like, Kingdom Hearts 1, because apparently, like, Onwards is great. I'm hoping once we get to that part, like,
Yeah.
the hard part will be over, so then it'll be, like, the fun part where I get to, like...
Yeah,
know.
and if
Hopefully for you.
the games are good, then it's a pretty decent value proposition, because I think it was only like 30 quid or something for this many JRPGs. It's not bad if they're good games,
Series.
except for the next bits. And
I think I paid 22 for mine.
Okay.
And 2.7 at the minute is quite cheap, so
Yeah.
hopefully that'll go down in price before.
3.
But the question is, do we want to finish all of these games before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out? Because we got.
I mean, we've got like 6
on.
years.
So you're only
my
you're
goal.
only gonna play the
This
first
year.
one and the second one, and then 3.
We're gonna play. I guess we're gonna try and play everything before 3 comes out.
Like
Yeah, so
everything.
Kingdom
I'm gonna
Hearts,
go
Kingdom Hearts 2,
in order, yeah.
Kingdom
Damn,
Hearts
you
Chain
got
of
some
Memories,
dedication.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 2.7, and then 2 movies. So
There's movies.
I'm gonna go in order
Yeah.
with like when you open the main menu. I'm gonna go down that.
Yeah.
I assume that's
Wait,
like,
you're saying that
chronological
there's a
I think so, yeah.
there's a PS4 disc that has all the games on it?
Yep.
order? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's 2 PS4 games with all the discs. With
Oh,
all the
I need
games on,
to.
'cause
I'll
there's
buy the
2.7.
first. I'll buy the first one. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I always wanted to play it, but I never really got into it. I remember I had friends in like freaking like 6th, 7th grade talking about it. You know, oh, Kingdom Hearts, the coolest shit ever. You know, Disney.
If I hit off on my camera, will it
Yes.
ruin the order?
Yes.
Okay. Because I have to go to the bathroom.
That's fine. We've all left multiple times. You're welcome
Yeah,
to leave. I can put like an
I
away
left
image
for the
in.
first time just now earlier.
Yeah, it's fine. You can
Okay.
skedaddle. Just don't break anything.
So don't turn off the camera. is what
Nope.
you're
Just
saying.
just take off the
Just
headphones.
leave. Just take off the headset and
and
go
walk
pee.
away. You have to take off the headphones. I think you should just leave this interview.
Oh, I will.
Swims out of there.
I genuinely thought he was going to crawl across the floor.
I was worried that he was gonna he was asking because he was wearing like dodgy shorts or whatever that he didn't want to be seen in, but that's okay. So do we kill time or do we?
You guys were talking about Kingdom Hearts for like a while, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing in the 2 years?
Yeah, what have you
You've
been
not
up
been
to?
here. What?
no,
Well, actually, what were your games of the year or your resolution for this year? Since
well,
we sort of went off that topic.
yeah, we went off on a lot of random topics. I just wanted to mention VR for 1 second, and we talked about it for
Yep.
like 40 minutes. I love that.
Welcome back.
That's how it was, and that's how it is, right? Well, for favorite games, Dead Cells, like I spoke about it earlier. That was one that I bought after watching Northern Lion. He's gonna walk in slow motion.
He ran away, but he's sauntering back.
Now you put
That's
your
a man
headphones
who
back
successfully
on.
peed.
Nah, I was just talking about Dead Cells,
Matt.
Bill, again.
Oh, nice. Yeah, dude. Good game.
So is it just a standard roguelike?
It's not really. It's people compare it to what's it called? Dark
Souls.
Souls. Yeah, like I don't.
Everything's compared to
Why?
Dark Souls.
I mean,
It's like
I
the
don't see
chicken-
why. Like
Chicken of
just,
video games.
I guess it's a like trial and error kind of game, but it's more like I compare it to more like Rogue Legacy. If you guys ever played Rogue Legacy,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
what
yeah.
it feels more like, and that's. I love Rogue Legacy. I put like freaking 70 hours into that game. I beat that game over and over and over again. It's an awesome game. And with Dead Cells, it's just that with the whole dodge and roll and all these different combinations of skills that you can, because you can pick up two abilities and you can have 2 different weapons. It's just, and they have multiple different sets of each skill and each weapon. And with recent updates, you can also add like passive skills and passive like as you're going forward, and all these extra upgrades. And I mean, that game has it's still in early access, but it's become so big, and I've been following it since like the first week of its release. I believe Northern Lion. I don't know if you guys watched that channel, but he did like a let's look at video, and then he did a bunch of videos on it, and I was just like, dude, this looks like my kind of game. Picked it up.
The combat's fantastic, dude. Like, it's like Rogue Legacy, but with like a much better.
Dude, and the combat is what is their core, because they've changed the game a lot over the last year or whatever since it's been released. It probably hasn't been a year, but it's probably close. But the combat hasn't changed though. But they just been adding so much other random stuff to it to balance the combat and stuff. But the combat it's the core of the game, and that's what kind of caught my attention at first. Like, if you know the dodge roll, like and you know, do the rest, you know, what you have to do, whatever your build is at the time, like it's the core of the game. Like, if you fuck up, you fuck up on your own, you know. It's very, very challenging but very rewarding. And it's made to be played as a speed run as well. There's like doors that you can unlock where, you know, you got to get to.
Yeah, dude, I was wondering about that. Sometimes I go down this little elevator, and there's like a thing that says this door is already closed.
Yep.
Does that mean I took too long to get there? Is that what that?
That's exactly what it means. That means you gotta run through everything. But the whole thing about Dead Cells is you can't really just run to the door and go to the next level, because you gotta pick up upgrades or you'll be weak as hell. So what you gotta learn is you gotta run really fast, pick up the upgrades, ignore all the enemies, don't fight anybody, screw all that shit, and then just run just to get to the door. And it's a different way of progressing through the level. I mean, you can play it the normal way of just fighting and killing everything, obviously, you know, or you can speed. It's just, there's so much ways of just going through that game, and it's a very skill based. Just gotta say,
yeah.
You gotta play that game. You gotta learn the patterns of the enemies. There's more enemies being added, new areas, new biomes. I mean, that game is still early access, and apparently they should. They said they were gonna release it around this time, but they held back not releasing it because they want to add more to the game before they release it. But
it's getting a Switch version too. On launch.
Is it gonna have a Switch version? Oh, dude.
Yep, coming to Switch.
I will definitely buy that. I've been supporting them since the beginning. You know, I know they had a price up a little bit. You know, I think it was like $16. Now it's $20 or something. So they're getting ready to release it, and I think it's a very good game that everybody should check out if you haven't, especially if you like platformers. I mean, it's a platformer goodness, you know.
So speaking on like the early access roguelike thing, the thing I wanted to talk to you about the most, Yokurama, has been Slay the Spire.
Oh my god, dude, that's been that's kind of like the only, you know how I get into, like I said, I get into League.
I've been seeing you play it a lot.
Sometimes I get into League and I play League 24/7. Well, Slay the Spire has kind of took over my life, and to tell you the truth, I suck at it. I've only beaten the game twice, once with each character. Once with each character. No, it's what's stupid is I bought the game. I played the first main guy, you know, before you unlock the second guy. You know, you play the first guy, the Ironclad, and I beat the game on my third try. And I was like, what the fuck? 2 hours in the game? This game is fucking easy. What the hell is this shit? I beat the game. I got lucky, okay? That's all that matters, because I played Ironclad at least another like 40-50 times, and I can't beat the game.
So
I cannot fucking beat the game.
For anyone who doesn't know or hasn't seen Slay the Spire, because it's kind of blown up on Twitch and it's been a top seller on Steam for a while.
It's a card game. It's a simple card game. It's a
roguelike card game. Think of like the dungeon runs from Hearthstone, but
is it like
in a roguelike setting.
What is it, Hands of Fate or whatever it was?
It's simpler, much simpler than that. You got a map, and there's like skulls and question marks and shops and like treasure chests and boss at the top, and you gotta just climb slowly up, and there's different paths that you can take, like you want to fight an elite enemy or not. And the whole combat takes place is you have a couple of different classes. Each class has their own set of cards, like 200 cards, and you slowly build your deck. You can you have like randomly run into like ways of removing cards, adding cards, selling cards, buying cards, you know, doing all that kind of crap. And you build your deck, and you fight bosses, and there's 3 acts at the moment. I believe they'll probably add more later on, but there's 3 acts, 2 characters, 2 different classes, and you just build these different decks to beat the bosses. And there's like after game mode at the moment. Like if you beat every boss, you can multiply the challenge up to 10 times or something like that. And it's like pretty crazy shit, but it's a fun game. It's basic. You just see yourself and you see the enemy. Sometimes it's one enemy, sometimes it's multiple enemies, and you have your
It's,
cards, and you just battle back and forth between enemies.
The UI design, I think, is really nice. Like the way that the game communicates certain things to you, like when it's like what it's telling you about what your enemies are going to do. Like the whole thing of like defending and attacking and negating like negative buffs and things like that. Like seeing,
and the thing is,
all
you
of
have
that,
the ability.
it flows so well.
You have the ability to see your deck, your draw, and your discard pile.
Yeah,
you know,
that too.
you
That
know
too,
what
yeah.
cards are coming up. If you really want to get hella technical and like super strategic, you can plan out every move like 5 moves ahead if you really want to. You know, it's just one of those games where you can just like completely destroy, and also like just like at the start of the game you get a random selection. Like if you beat the first boss last run, you get a random selection of some kind of buff. Like you can like either remove 1 card or transform 2 cards into some random cards, or some kind of random buff to get you started, and that like gets you like figured out what kind of direction that you want to go. Each deck, each class has like a dozen ways of, like, I don't know, even probably hundreds of ways you can you can play it. There's hundreds of cards, but there's like different strategies, different ways of doing it. Every time you play it, it's something different. It's great. I mean, and it's easy. All you need is a mouse, nothing else. Like the way I play it is
I'm sure you need a screen.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, you got me there. I mean, I can't. I really. That's my argument right there. But what I do is, the way I play Slay the Spire is, I usually have something on Netflix playing in the background. You know, it's like one of those chill games. I'm waiting for it to come on the iPad so I can chill. Right now, I play it on Steam.
Yeah.
You know?
They did mention that when it's fully out, they do want to have it on mobile, and I do believe Switch is.
It's Switch. It's gonna be beautiful on it, especially with the touchscreen. I know Ebbie likes to play handheld mode. Touchscreen is all you need. It's gonna be awesome. Like I recommend that game. It's just so much fun. And even though I lose and lose and lose and lose, like. I've lost, like, the last time I won was like 40 matches ago, and I've put in probably like another like 30 hours since the last time I won. But I cannot stop playing. It's because every time you start, you don't know where it's gonna go. You get to the last boss. I keep getting to the last boss, but he's so hard to beat.
So if they're thinking of bring it to mobile, I presume that it's like a 5-minute game, or
no, it's not a 5-minute game. It's that my first round took me a very long time. Like it took me like an hour and 40 minutes, but that's like way too long. My second run, I did it under an hour. It's just the first run I was just like reading into everything, you know.
So are you able to come back to things halfway through, or
no?
Okay,
it's once you die, you start over from the. It's only 3
acts.
acts.
No, but like once you've started a round, can you?
Oh
save and
yeah.
then
If you
okay.
It's at the start of the match. There's like between each boss, there's about like maybe up to. It depends which route you take. It could be up to 5 to 15 fights before you get to a boss. You know, because you can either go all question mark route, or you can go through all fights and get gold. Yeah. I mean, it's different ways, you know. And at the end of each fight, like if you start a fight in the middle of a fight, if you end the game, it will start you at the beginning of that fight that you were on.
Cool.
And after you beat the boss, obviously it'll start you from the beginning of the next act.
Okay.
It's like we get so many, like I think ever since Isaac. We get so many like roguelikes.
Isaac
changed. We've gotten so
games.
many, yeah. And some of them stick. Like some of them are like cool initially, like Flint Hook, but like they don't stick. And some of them like really fucking stick.
Dude, I cannot wait. They've been hyping up a third character, and I've already mastered kind of these two guys.
And that
to the point where I know every card, and if when they add a third guy, I can't imagine how much more time I'm gonna put into this game. Just
and that brings up like another good point is like not only have they like stuck to landing here and made a new roguelike that like, oh man, people actually really love this. Like a lot of the big Isaac players are playing it, but they do like early access so well with they do weekly updates like every week.
That's the best part. They change. I noticed the changes, like even like little things like the UI where they show the cards that you exhaust, where you like remove from play. They show like a little number on the side, and you can click and check it out. Now a week ago that wasn't there, but now it's there. It's like holy shit, that's so cool. It's like little things adding.
It's
fun
to follow.
It's beautiful. And it's just a very addicting game. You can like speed run it. There's like achievement for beating it under like 15 minutes or something like that. So I mean there's people that beat it under like 5 minutes. Like like 12 minutes.
Just click everything.
Under 10 minutes. Like
Wait,
there's people.
what's the world record?
There's people that beat the game with 2 cards. They remove all cards and they beat the game with 2 cards.
What the fuck?
2 cards.
Did they cheat?
No, they just got a lucky run where they would remove cards at a certain time because you all get a limited amount of like card removals.
Yeah.
But they would just keep getting removal, where they would end the game with just beating the final boss with just.
That
2
sounds
cards.
like it might have been a bug.
It's not a bug. It's just the whole point of the game is that it's random. You know, it's just luck.
What would
a
be?
lucky run.
There's many categories for Slay the Spire in world record terms. Fast mode, ironclad, any percent.
Oh yeah, they just added the fast mode where you know how like animations of characters used to play in. Like I said, I beat the game in an hour and a half or whatever, hour 45 minutes. That was the old type of play where like they had all the animation, but they added fast mode where they speed it up like 70% or something like that. Where all the animations you can play faster, because after a while you get tired of watching the animations, you know, like of all these different characters and all these enemies. So I played that way now.
That's a nice addition, actually.
It's hella
Well, it's
nice.
like
They added
they
added a fast mode, and then after like another week they added a even like they took the fast mode and made it even faster. So they're like they sped it up.
They added 200 cc.
Apparently, in-game time, the world record for ironclad any percent fast mode is 7 minutes 38 seconds.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. I beat mine first ironclad in an hour and 45 minutes, but that was not fast mode. But still,
fast mode, the silent any percent is 20 minutes.
silent is the second class, and it's the harder. Like it's the harder
Right.
version. It's the second guy, and it took me like 40 matches to beat once with silent, compared to like 3 matches with ironclad. So I mean, it's hella fun, and I look forward to more updates and more characters and more whatever. They can take this game so far. And also, whenever I always go to Steam and I always look up early access and I always look up roguelike and what's new and what's coming out and what's all this shit and Metroidvania and all that. And I'm looking for stuff that's very similar to Slay the Spire. But so far, I have not, because it's not that I'm tired of Slay the Spire, but I want another character. I already know these guys, you know. I want more,
Yeah.
you know. I want more content. But I just want another game that it's at least similar to Slay the Spire. But I can't find anything like that.
Called Monster Slayers, which is like very similar.
I'm gonna look it
but
up.
the art sucks, dude. The art
Don't
sucks.
don't tell me. I think I saw a game like that. Let me see if this is the game.
It looks
I
like
saw.
a Newgrounds.com game, dude, from like the early dial-up days. Like the art sucks so bad. I was gonna get it because it was like $1 and like a Indie Gala
I think
or whatever.
I think I looked at some kind of game that looks like this is the game. I saw this game and I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like gameplay wise, it's very similar. Like same general idea.
Yeah, but I just want
like,
more games
the
like
art,
this. I feel like Slay the Spire might even pave the road to some kind of. It's
sure.
almost like it's a new subgenre. Like roguelike is a subgenre in itself, right?
A subgenre.
Subgenre.
Yeah.
But isn't that right? It's a shop. I can't talk now. And now
It's a subject.
a card like roguelike. That's just
Yeah, people love
games.
people love
I feel like
games.
games are just like evolving. Like every genre can have its own like version of any genre. Any genre can be matched with another genre, pretty much, right? I mean, that's what it's coming down to. Now that roguelike is matched with card game, I mean, that's kind of there's not many games out there like that. I mean, that's like a new thing. It's a new thing and that came out like November. I'm sad that I didn't get in. If that was a game I got into in 2017, that would have been up there with Dead Cells with me. That's like top games for me right there. And Hollow Knight. I don't know if any of you guys played Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a masterpiece of a game from beginning to end, and I cannot recommend it anymore. Like it's
Absolutely.
It's one of the greatest games to come out in like a decade for me, and I cannot like talk like I have the indie box like collection of it with the stupid plushies and stuff. That's the only physical way of buying that game at the moment, and it's like not easy to track down. Like I love that game. Like that's like a
there's supposed to be a Switch version coming.
yeah.
There is a Switch
course
version.
there is.
It's been
of
announced,
Hollow Knight.
but it's been announced since like
yeah,
forever.
Yeah,
I thought that it was on the store already.
no. If it was, and you didn't own it, that would have been a problem right now.
Well, I don't like.
Yeah, it's been delayed.
It's like one of the best side-scrolling like adventure or like Metroidvania.
I'm not too big into Metroidvania games though.
Yeah, I guess if you're not into it's kind of Metroidvania, but it's the art style and the aesthetic of that game is so different that it doesn't fully feel like a Metroid. I mean, the gameplay obviously, but it's just the way the controls are and the way you even jump, like the way the jump mechanics work in that game, like the more you press, cool, and it's just, I don't know, that game. I just fell in love with that game from the moment I played it, and I mean, I couldn't get enough of that game. And there's like a million bosses that you fight in that game, and it's just beautiful. It's awesome. I've been into indie games, as you can tell. Like, I can keep talking about indie games. That's been my jam. Like,
did you ever play Stardew Valley when that was relevant?
Yeah, Stardew Valley. I have it on the Switch, for sure. Yeah. I got it on back in Humble Monthly a while ago. I played it for a bit on Steam, but I didn't get into it because I was playing other games like NPC. I was just my time. But when I got on the Switch, that's when I fell in love with it, for sure. It was a good game.
So it's no secret that we like the old switcheroo.
For me, Switch is the next. It's like Steam of consoles. That's what Switch is to me, because it's getting so many indie games.
Poor Steam Link.
Seriously, it has games that I want. You know.
What are your go-to Switch games at the moment? Like, what have you been?
Well, I've been running a lot in Odyssey lately. Just just moons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can do that forever. Kind of, I feel like I could for the next 10 years. I'll be just running moons.
Pretty fucking much. Yeah. Pretty much.
And
they added an update for that like yesterday, I think.
Yeah, Balloon
They
World.
had the balloon mode thing.
Apparently,
I didn't even check that out.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the physical copies because I have a ton of digital games, but physical copies. Mario Rabbids, I still play with co-op with a buddy of mine once in a while. That was a hella fun game. Just kind of talking back 2017.
I haven't finished that game yet. I
It's
still
so
don't know
hard.
who that game is for.
It is
because,
hard.
Like,
it is
it's
hard.
It's so hard.
But
the Rabbids thing makes me think it's a kid's game.
It's just
but it's not because it's so hard.
I hated Rabbids so much before that.
Nah, Rabbids are great.
I hated Rabbids. I had some couple DS games that I played with my nephews, and I was just like, this is garbage. Okay, so when I got this, like I pre-ordered it. I got it day one. I got it from the whole Amazon thing where they,
Yeah.
And I've been playing it kind of ever since. Like I've not like constantly, but like once a week, like once every couple of weeks, I'll put it in and do a mission, do this. So like the co-op is hella fun. I got a friend that's over all the time. He's playing all the time. We played a lot of this DLC stuff like Wolverblade. If you guys play that Irish beat 'em up in Ireland, where
yes, heard of it, not played it.
Yeah, that's a hella fun game. It's just a side scroll like Shank. I don't know if you guys know Shank. It's like that kind of art style, and I mean we play a bunch. Like Enter the Gungeon on Switch, even though I suck at it because it's controller. I suck with I play way better on PC. But Enter the Gungeon on the Switch co-op is some of the most fun you can have on Switch. Like if you don't have Enter the Gungeon, and especially if you have someone to play co-op with, and you don't have Enter the Gungeon, pick it up. Hella fun. Like.
My problem is that there is too much on the Switch that I would like to try, and I'm just not.
At one point, I stopped buying games on Steam purposely so I could just put everything into Switch, and that way, at one point I was just buying Switch games like as they were releasing, like games that I was interested in for like a month and a half. Like I was just buying everything I wanted, So at one point I built a collection of games. At this point, I have probably like 30 digital games, and I have like 5 physical copies.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that's what I'm saying. It's my Steam. But the next like closest
I can see
best
that
thing to
happening
Steam
for sure.
because it's an indie dream box. It's an indie box. That's what it is. It's just you can play anything almost on it. It has so many 4-player co-op games, and we get together with friends all the time. I have another buddy that has a Switch. Like we can like cross-platform that, connect those. Rocket League. And I mean, I could just keep going, I have high praises for that system.
Play this game.
Oh yeah!
I still don't have that.
Tetris.
I still don't have that.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is on my spreadsheet.
I'm waiting for some of these games to just drop in price a little bit. They're really
the
holding
eShop
their...
versions of stuff do seem to go on sale reasonably
They just had
frequently.
the Share the Joy sale thing,
Yeah,
didn't
they did. I picked up Puyo Puyo. It was 30% off, I think, and it's been on 30% off like twice now. So just
Everyone
keep an eye
should
on
also
the.
buy Fire Emblem Warriors because I love that game.
I am.
I can't wait for
still
Donkey
trying
Kong. The new Donkey Kong, the old.
I think you're gonna say Donkey Kong Warriors.
Have you
Donkey Kong Warriors. Wouldn't that be the greatest shit ever, though? Like, come on, man. Donkey Kong Warriors. If that was a thing, I mean.
have they given a date for Tropical Freeze with?
I can't wait for that because I recently got rid of.
I
my...
never played it before.
I never played it either. I had the Wii U version, but I just never got around to playing it. And I got rid of it not long ago. And because I heard the Switch release, and I'm just like, I'll just play it on Switch. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, you know.
Are you gonna pick up Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, Ebbie?
I mean, I buy every Hyrule Warriors game that's ever existed, so probably.
I'm hesitant because, like I said, whilst I enjoyed the
There's
game
a release date for that, by the way.
Yeah, there is. I can't remember what it was.
31st of May.
Yeah, I just don't want the crappy map.
Adventure mode. Yeah, like going from Hyrule Warriors that had like extra content, like too much of it, to Fire Emblem Warriors, where it was like really streamlined and cool, is going to be difficult. And there's like 2 packs of DLC out for the Fire Emblem one now.
Yep.
And I haven't bought it.
Nope.
I want to though, but I think I'm going to wait until the Awakening stuff comes out because I actually care about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I care about the Fate stuff a little bit, but not that much. So
not 18 quid's worth.
No. But give me Crom in a stupid costume. I'll pay 18 quid for that.
It's so nice to see the dialogue around the Switch almost a year out. When you could rewind.
Did we record before or after they officially said that it has outsold the Wii U?
Probably before.
I don't know, but the Switch has. It's been like I've just been watching it, and it's just been amazing me ever since it came out. Like with the whole passing the Wii U, I love the Wii U. I have a great love for Wii U. I have like 35 games for that system. You know, I freaking love that system. And seeing the Switch pass it like that, it's just like in a way, it's like bittersweet in a way. Like I still feel like love for the Wii U, but people just throwing it aside and everything. But the Switch, it still deserves it. It deserves to outsell the Wii U by that much. The Switch is what the Wii U should have been to begin with.
Yeah,
yep.
absolutely.
I think that was the
whole point.
Yeah,
so when it's not a surprise, it's not a surprise that outsold the Wii U. It's like saying that iPhone 3 or iPhone 5 or whatever outsold the iPhone 1. You know, that's what the iPhone should have been.
I think the thing I'm
know?
surprised by is that it did it within a year.
10 months. I think it said.
Yeah, that is. You could
say
say that's definitely surprising. I mean, that's no
that
doubt about that.
It's weird to think that 10 months into the Switch's life, there are potentially more people who I could play Mario Kart with than I ever could have on the Wii U.
But hey,
and there's no fire hopping, so it's great.
Yeah.
Hey, but doesn't it there's just more advertisement, more love for like just sharing.
I think that there's a lot more. There's a lot more advertisement.
It's the marketing that kind of sold it. Wii U did not have.
Yeah.
The marketing just had a different atmosphere. It had a different atmosphere to it. This is just all about like. Yo, remember when we used to have fun playing games together, like 4 players, like co-op, like split screen, like those days?
And it can advertise itself, because you can take it around. You can be like, hey, I had a moment this morning when I was trying to finish something, and it suddenly dawned on me that it's bloody weird that there's this hybrid thing that I can take the controllers off of and plug back in and just play it in bed. I'm like, every now and again, it's nice to remember how absurd and awesome that is.
Yeah, it's because it actually works. I mean, the whole thing with the Wii U is you take it like to the other room. It's
10 feet.
Like, it's like what the fuck, you know, like that's retarded. But this is you're able to take it to the other side of this freaking country.
Planet.
It's like whatever, dude. Like do whatever you want with this thing, you know. It plays. It has my saves. It has everything. As long as I have the cartridges or the stuff installed or whatever, the SD card. I'm able to play whatever I want anywhere I go, and that's what the Wii U was just. It's a prototype. It's a and I appreciate for what it was, because I originally experienced Breath of the Wild on the Wii U because I bought the Switch much later after it came out. I bought it like 4 months after it came out, and I experienced Breath of the Wild on Wii U. I was working out of state, and I couldn't get enough of Breath of the Wild that I took my Switch with me. Oh, not the Switch. Fuck. My Wii U with me, the system with me. I had no TV, and I was like, please work, because I didn't test this, but I'm like, okay, it gotta work. So I took my Wii U with me, I plugged it into the wall, and I would just, in my hotel room, just play the Breath of the Wild on my gamepad, and I'm just like playing there for hours, you know. It's my downtime, you know. I'm staying in the hotel like 12 hours a day, you know. So I'm playing, and I'm playing it on this thing. I'm not bothering anyone on the TV, you know. They're still watching their stupid like Storage Wars or something like that, you know. and I'm playing Breath of the Wild on this pad, and the Switch was already out at that point, and I had to take my whole system with me for that.
Yeah.
Imagine if I had to just take my my Switch with me. That's it. That's all I would need.
Yeah.
There was a point.
That was the selling point for me, you know.
There was a point when Wind Waker HD came out, and I was doing a lot of train travel, and I thought, screw it, I'm going to see if it works. I'm plugging my Wii U into the train power port.
That's pretty epic, man.
Playing it on the gamepad, I'm like, man, if only this was simpler.
Yeah, but it still worked, right?
Yeah, it did. It was pretty good.
Hey, it's okay, man. We gotta do what we gotta do back in the day. It's funny how it's considered back in the day when it's not even that back in the day. It was like a few years ago.
2 years ago.
It's just weird how fast. Like, this is one of the things that I really like about gaming.
The next step.
How fast, like, the next step comes, and how just
because this is what the next gen consoles became. They became the whole like more media, more Netflix, more this, more that, more better graphics. But that's it. Nintendo is still at the point where they're innovating to the point where they're trying to improve our gaming experience to the point where like we're just to even like when we're not sitting specifically gaming, we can still take it with us and just like even on the side, because they know these games are long, like Xenoblade and Chronicles 2 or whatever. You're not gonna beat that. I mean, you can't beat that just sitting at your TV, but a lot of these Nintendo
I tried to do
players,
that with Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah, a lot of
I didn't beat that game.
A lot of players of Nintendo, they know at this point I feel like they know they're adults and they need to be on the go. It's because I feel like the whole on the go genre of games, including the like 3DS and everything, it was more like Game Boy wise was focused on kids, you know, on road trips and stuff, you know. But Switch is dedicated kind of, I feel like, also for kids, but also for adults. I mean, it's for everyone. You know, they know that it's not just 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds playing their system. It's us. You know, everybody's playing their system. Everybody loves Nintendo. It's not a children's thing. It's everyone's thing. That's what the Switch is. It's for everyone. I have trucker buddies that drive around all the time, like a month at a time, and they're playing their Switches, you know, playing Mario Kart.
Hopefully not while they're driving.
Like, do whatever they
American
can.
roads are pretty dull.
But it's awesome, you know. It's just awesome to hear that, you know, they're still into gaming. It's letting these people wouldn't be able. What, they're gonna play Mario Run on their phone? I mean, that's like the closest thing to Nintendo they're gonna get out there.
Yeah, my dad's gotten super back into gaming because of like the fact that I can go and visit him and I can just like take my Switch with me and he can play Mario Odyssey for a bit.
Like you guys
because
think...
he fell out of gaming from like early Wii, wasn't interested in the Wii U, but then when there was a new Mario game out on the Switch, he was like, yes, I want to play it, I want to play it. Because my dad really likes Mario games. And he said if there's an N64 Mini at any point that he wants me to get one.
N64 Mini is definitely one. I haven't picked up the NES or the SNES Mini, but N64 Mini...
I've got the SNES Mini. I haven't really played with it much.
I don't want to play with that controller again.
It's great.
I like the SNES controller.
I don't have a SNES controller. I have one of these lying around, but I don't have a SNES.
Those are bad controllers. Like
this hurts. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does
It's dog bone. At least it was round,
so it wasn't like digging into your fingers here.
Yeah, but hey, for sure, you guys. I was just wondering, you guys think the Switch can evolve anymore? Do you think they'll like keep evolving?
Well,
the
this
Switch?
is the thing.
Or
They-
do you think
they
they'll
said that they
release
want
a
it-
next version, or do you think they'll
They said
evolve
that they
it?
want it to last 7 or 8 years. Like, that's their plan. So
But
I
what
don't
do you
know
think they're
whether
gonna
they're
do?
expected this hardware to last for 7 or 8 years, or if they'll be like
They can't.
Switch.
The whole like
I don't
32.
know what they can do because they can't go back to just home consoles.
32
now
gigs
because-
They'll never do that.
is
again.
BS. They need to raise. They need to release like a terabyte version or half a.
God.
I mean, you
That'd be
could.
impressive, but
Hey, there's flash
dangerous.
memory. There's flash memory.
Yeah.
Okay, flash memory is
Yeah.
not expensive. You can get 512 gigabyte for like what, like $80, $100. I mean, I would pay for that if I can get flash memory. I'm tired.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean, you
like
could-
these
you could
sticks
put-
and like dealing with all these different stuff. Like it's too. It's extra stuff you gotta take with you. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing is
I mean,
portability.
you could buy a flash like a SD.
That's
card
what
and
I
just
have.
pop it
That
in
I do have that.
motherfucker,
I
yeah.
do have that. That's kind of. But I feel like it would be an awesome to have the memory lifted a little bit.
Like
at
the
least.
onboard storage.
I know a terabyte is dreaming right there, but you think that's not possible?
You just like your indie games so much.
Hey, a terabyte of indie games would be like a million.
That's
terabyte.
like all.
a
That's
million-
all of the
that's
indie
all
games ever
all
made,
indie games ever made on there, right there. Yeah, for sure.
or one copy of Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, that's true. If that came out on the Switch, honest to God, I would sell my PS4. I would just be like, yeah.
But no, you've got to play Kingdom Hearts.
Oh fucking hell!
Well,
I've
she'll
gotta
have to
keep
just
it for permadeath.
she'll have to just beat it in a couple sittings.
Yeah, I'll just have to like power through and then sell it. But,
No,
so-
I think it's impossible to sort of see where Nintendo are going to go. I don't think that anyone would have really expected them to go where they did with the Switch. I don't think it's really possible to see where they're going to go after.
I just kind of wonder if they're going to do like iterative consoles like we've got sort of going on with the Xbox and PS4. Like you get the Switch
X,
Plus.
L,
I
or
don't know.
whatever.
Like you
I mean,
get
they
Switch
have
XL.
done
The
an
Switch is
upgraded
already
version or whatever.
huge. The Switch is big
I mean-
compared to.
Yeah, but I
I
mean, yeah,
mean-
they have done that with handhelds, and it is like 50% handheld. So
It's just like if they do one where the graphics are nicer or whatever. That's the only thing I can imagine
They
them
can.
doing. But
They
I've
can
never been able to
upgrade it.
predict what Nintendo have
battery
have
and hard
done,
drive are probably
so-
like the big things that they could improve.
battery.
Maybe
would be
screen
nice.
resolution.
I would
just
love to.
general
No, I would
resolution.
love to see just higher performance, like playing Doom in 60 FPS. You know, when docked. I mean, that's not
Yeah.
available even yet. I mean, that's kind of stuff they can just change hardware wise, just a little bit at a time as they're releasing them. You know, like a later version. You know,
Yeah,
without actually raising
I wonder if
the
that's
price.
just like performance patches and stuff that I don't know.
Hey, if
I
that's
wonder
just
if
performance
they.
patch, and I request it and I demand it. Okay.
I wonder if we could see a point where they release, rather than new consoles, they release newer docks that do actually do some of the processing power itself, so that you can have, like,
Yeah, I'm
a
kind of
60
surprised by how
FPS.
little the dock actually does now. Like it doesn't really do.
Yeah, it
anything,
just seems like a
really.
video output box,
Yeah.
really.
And they're
Which-
so
so-
expensive to buy separately as well.
yeah. So maybe
It's a-
maybe they
it's
will
a cheap little fucking thing too.
like stick a GPU or whatever in it
Yeah.
someday, and it'll help things hit 60 FPS in docked, just like a 1080 sticking into you.
It's definitely going to be an interesting feature because, like you guys said, like there's no way they'll ever go back to being a dedicated box on your shelf.
There's
that
no
doesn't-
need
that
now.
doesn't leave your house. Yeah,
There's no need.
They've-
They've evolved.
they've hit it. Yeah, so it'll be fun to see because now that's what you could expect from Nintendo, I think. And like,
I think I wonder if part of it is just like adapting to what the market wants at that point, because I feel like the Switch was kind of born from the idea that Japanese people don't really play home console games.
Well, the Vita was what was like their thing, you know. Now
Yeah,
this
the
is
Vita's,
what you were
like,
saying.
so
This is
popular
this is
in
what
Japan.
this is taking over the Vita.
and I think it's a. Now again, you know, Bill talking out of his ass here.
Please.
But I think it's also a thing born out of necessity for them, Nintendo. When you look at where their strengths have been, I mean, like, I'm not saying the Wii U is bad. I loved the Wii U as well. I loved the games that were on the Wii U, but like it didn't perform as well as anybody wanted. And that was up to the marketing, like Yoku said. Like, you know, it was a confusing thing to market. You know, there was a confusion around this name. There was a confusion on what it does. Like, is this an add-on? Blah blah blah. Lots of problems there. Lots of stories you've heard. Like, but then you look at like their 3DS. and like how vast the library is on a 3DS, and all of the support they've gotten from Japanese devs and games that weren't just Mario's and Donkey Kong's, like lots of things. Like some of the best JRPGs over the last 10 years have been shown up on a 3DS, and they were able to bring back old franchises like Fire Emblem, and find extreme success.
Fire
for
Emblem
that,
thrived on 3DS.
which used to be a niche game. Yeah, so now you see them go, okay, you know what? We're kicking an ass over here. We kind of hit a slump over
If
here.
it wasn't for 3DS, there would be no Switch. That's the whole point.
Let's take both of those worlds and fucking combine them, because we're crushing it on handheld. We were never awful at consoles. Like the Wii was a smashing success. Let's take both of those, innovate on a new idea, and rock it. And so like I can't imagine.
And you consolidate your
world
devs.
Where
that's the important bit as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now everyone's
like
developing for one thing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Like, I can't count the amount of times
saying,
I was disappointed that, like, oh, it's a 3DS game. It's not like a main console game or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they could take all of that manpower that we're making games for the 3DS, so whether it be directly from Nintendo or from people like Square or whomever, and now all of that's focused on this one machine, and you have, like, oh, that vast 3DS library and those awesome, like, first-party exclusives that you'd get on like the Wii U that you couldn't do on a 3DS. Well, that's not all in one fucking box, and I don't think they'll ever go back from that, which is awesome, because then like that's the ultimate dream. And then on top of that, all of the indie support and the third-party stuff, like we're getting LA Noire and Skyrim and Doom and Wolfenstein, like all of that stuff is seeing success, and the NBA and all that stuff. I can't imagine we won't see a Madden at some point. So you know, it's fucking awesome. It's really, really great. Good stuff. I'm excited for the future of Nintendo. Like, like, it's been a while since you've been able to look at a headline and go like, man, they're fucking crushing it. Like that, but outside of the 3DS world, because they've been crushing it on handheld forever, since dawn of time. So it's really, and especially after the language around,
except for the original 3DS, that was not a good time.
That launch was pretty
first
bad,
year.
But still, Nintendo made the right choices of with their decisions with the 3DS, and even going from Wii to Wii U was also the right path, because that brought on to the Switch. They had the right idea, but it took a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know,
not everything lands.
It's awesome.
Right
No, it's awesome. It's very great to just see the Nintendo, the company that kind of like, you know, didn't start it all, but kind of took everything into its hands back in the 80s. You know, after all the Atari goodness that happened. Like it's saved, and even now, even though the whole gaming console thing, it's not that it was going down the drain. It's still like it was going towards PC. You know, PS4, Xbox One, they're going towards PC. That's their whole thing. But Nintendo, it's still just a family entertainment center. You know, that's the NES, and that's all it is. That's what the Switch is. That's what the 3DS was. You know, it's just like taking it on a road trip, chilling with your family, playing. It's just awesome to see that even after all these years, Nintendo is not trying to be the guys that are like, 4K, 5K, 8K, you know, like bringing up all this shit.
But if they did it, I would be very happy.
Hey, but listen, even if they will, I know they will eventually. I mean, with times, you know, with times it will happen. Like, remember when we saw with the Wii U the first time Mario Kart in 1080p?
In HD?
My God. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen. And it's just like, what the heck? Like, it took them a while, but they did it then. But we'll be, even though, I mean, it's just their you can see their focus on other things. Yeah. It's not like they're just lazy assing everything, you know. They're focusing on the whole handheld aspect of actually bringing gaming back to the whole multiplayer, as in like not just online multiplayer, and just like playing together and enjoying family time. I mean, that was the whole Wii's point, you know, with the whole bowling and crap that they did, you know, and like it's just, this is that's still their point, you know, of their company. It's just awesome. I know they're old times, they don't want to change, but that's good that they're not changing this aspect of their company, you know.
I think like the thing that sums it up for me the most was when I was playing 1-2 Switch with my nephew on Boxing Day, and my nephew, who's like 5, was playing it. I was playing it. I'm like I was 26 at the time. my dad was playing it. He's nearly 60, and my granddad was also having a go at Quickfire and stuff. Quick Draw,
It's just
sorry.
like, what, are you gonna
And
play
he's like
something else
85
like that?
or something. So it's like spanned an 80-year gap in between people to just like play a fun game for 5 minutes.
It's
And I
just
think
something
that
to
just,
connect with.
That's the thing that I like about Nintendo.
It's like my
Even though it
my
sounds like
mom.
a
My
fangirl
mom
most of
doesn't
the
even
time.
speak English. Like, she lived in America all her life, but she's been around the Russian community. She doesn't even speak English. But if I tell her about Nintendo, she knows what Nintendo is, because I cried to her
Yeah.
about Nintendo all my childhood, you know? And it's still a thing. If I show her the Nintendo Switch, like next time I go back to my home, like my home in my hometown, like I'll show her she'll be like, oh, Nintendo? Wow, Nintendo, you know? Like, she won't say anything about anything else like that. It's just awesome to see it stick through all these times and still be innovative, you know?
Yeah. I love Nintendo.
For sure.
Yeah, good stuff. Good
I'm
stuff.
okay with it.
I'm excited.
I feel
moving-
average.
Moving on to some more video games.
Yes.
One game I'd like to talk about, which has been
Oh, I know.
part
I don't know.
I know.
might
Oh!
not know.
I might know.
Well, I have two.
Oh.
Where's my camera? I have two. Where's my fucking camera? I have two.
I have two cameras.
Where the fuck am I? Because I have the videos over here on this
Yeah.
monitor and my camera's up here, so I'm like not really.
you need to
fucking
move the
them
camera,
all.
the video onto the first monitor.
But I'm monitoring my Audacity. I guess I can move my Audacity over here. And, whatever. I'll do that next time.
Learning process.
The two main games that I've played since the last time we talked. The first, I'm gonna talk about the one that everyone in the world is playing and liking.
Oh wait, now I know
one.
both of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The first one is Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter World. I'm not taking my shirt off. I'm just showing you.
Yeah, you're also not actually showing it in the video. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to stand.
That didn't see it shut up on my camera.
Yeah, I know, but it's because of the way it's cropped. You'd have to stand up for it to show.
Do you have like the whole bottom of my body cut?
No, I
Yeah,
see.
pretty much.
I see the dragon.
All right, there we go. Now we can see it. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, it's because of the way
So-
that the image is framed.
So, I've been one of the main reasons why I haven't really fucking made progress in anything over the last month has been because of Monster Hunter, which is like fucking killing it for Capcom right now, which is great to see for a franchise that has been like considered niche for a while. It's been on the 3DS for the longest time, since the third iteration of the series. It's been over there on handhelds, and did. Oh, my mic's still working. Okay,
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like all out of it today. It looked like the plug on my mic was out, but it was a dumb because I was still recording. So like,
Okay.
but it looked. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, obviously you guys have been hearing me, so I mean, like, I'm not, whatever. Anyway, yeah, this game has been fucking fantastic. Like, really, not many. But besides the way you connect in multiplayer, being a little bit cumbersome when you first start the game, before like you finish a lot of the story stuff. Like, it's really hard to co-op story missions. Not hard, but it's a pain in the ass to where you can't until you watch the cutscene. You can't bring other players in with you. So if you want to do the whole story with your friend, you both have to start the quest yourselves, both watch the cutscene, then quit the mission, and then start the mission over again. So it's kind of like, Jesus fucking Christ, Capcom, what the hell are you doing?
That sounds
But,
cumbersome, like Comrades.
Yeah. I mean, once you get kind of through that shit, though, and like the stuff that you probably should be playing more. I mean, they advertise you can play the whole story co-op, so it's not like a thing where, well, just do the story by yourself. But it's like, no, I bought this to play with my friends, Capcom. I don't want to. But beyond that initial like little thing where like the first few days we were playing, like, what the fuck? I want to play with my friend. This is one of the most like rewarding and exhilarating video games I have ever played, and like that is 100% serious. Like there's no like hyperbole. Like that is a game where 60 hours deep, you can switch to a new weapon, and like I think it's like a thing people hear a lot about Monster Hunter is that like each new weapon can probably have its own game based around it. Like that's how in depth they go. Like there's like I don't know how many weapons, like 20 or so weapons to pick from. I don't know the exact count. But each weapon in Monster Hunter kind of has its own moveset, it has a lot of depth in each weapon. It's not like, oh, this sword just plays like this sword, or like the great sword just kind of plays like the hammer, but a little bit faster. Like, no, this shit is fucking, there is so much to chew on. So when you switch to a new weapon, there's a lot of learning involved, but there's a lot of content there. So for 60 hours or however long you're playing this game, I have like 60 hours into it now. I'm nowhere near done with what I'm doing. My friend's at 150 hours.
This is on PS4, right?
Yeah, it's coming to PC in the fall too.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we've been watching gameplay like on IGN and all this random website, you know, seeing the game. Dude, it does look sick. I played Monster Hunter 3, like back on the Wii U. I think it's Monster Hunter 3 remix.
Yep.
Try or something.
Try Ultimate or whatever.
Yeah, I played that, and I mean, I remember playing it alone, and it was confusing as hell, you know, because you know it's just that was the first monster I was getting into. I was like, what the hell's going on? There's all this shit you gotta do and all that crap, you know. But it was pretty fun, and seeing this gameplay and seeing how beautiful it looks and seeing how like the co-op works and stuff. I think it's something that I think we're gonna jump on. Are you planning to get it on PC, or are you gonna keep?
Yeah, I'm gonna double dip for sure.
If you double dip, man, dude, you're gonna have to teach me some ropes, man, because I had no idea.
For sure, dude.
I'm a noob.
Yeah, I'm gonna double dip for sure because I have friends on I'm playing with friends on PS4 and I have friends on PC who don't have consoles and would like to play it. So it's like, yeah, you know what? I love the game that much that and by that point too they'll have because they're releasing new monsters in the spring and a free update and all that stuff, and like the game, like typically with Monster Hunter they are constantly giving out free stuff, which is great. They keep the game rocking. But it's been great because I've tried playing 4 on the 3DS, and I have a hard time playing.
How's the graphical like look of the game on the 3DS, like compared to the even Monster Hunter Try? Like, how does it look,
dude? Now this is what I am very happy about. Is that like I always love the idea of playing Monster Hunter, but like I can't play this on a 3DS screen. Like it's the what they're going for with Monster Hunter, and this could have worked on the Switch, which has been. Like, you know, a lot of people really wanted either the next Monster Hunter or even them to localize Double Cross, which is like the latest Switch game they put out for Monster Hunter. This could have worked on the Switch too. Like I would have been fine with this either being on PS4/PC or the Switch, but because what they're going for, what they've never really been able to do, like with the 3DS versions, even like the PSP versions, what they've never been able to do, like ever in the history of Monster Hunter, is properly translate the scale of the fight that they're trying to give to the player. Like in Monster Hunter World, when you come up on an Anjanath or on a Rathian or on a Diablos or, you know, on any of on these Elder Dragons, like the detail and animation and sense of AI that they're able to produce on the screen, like just like edges out that fucking feeling of hunting these guys down. Because the little bit I've played of 4 in the 3DS, I loved it. Like, I wasn't hating it, but looking at that tiny screen and trying to fucking contort my hands to do what you're doing in Monster Hunter on a 3DS.
It seems a little too much.
Hard.
It's a little too much for the.
It's fucking hard.
Being
able to use a controller and having it on my TV and everything, like, this was the right step. You know, whether it would have been on Switch or this, it was the right step for them to go, okay, we're moving away from what we've been so comfortable doing and taking a risk with a niche game, because Monster Hunter, while like successful in the West enough to keep getting localizations, never like setting the world on fire over here, you know, like where it's like holy, like it's the next new hotness, like Destiny. Whereas Monster Hunter World, like Capcom took the risk, put a ton of time and money into making a full next-gen Monster Hunter, which would have been a smash in Japan no matter what, but also, you never know, because Japan are not very stationary gamers. They love on the go, like we talked about in this episode a few times, and it paid off. It, like, sold the most in a week than, like, any Monster Hunter. Like, it cracked records. And for Capcom themselves in the States, game cracked records in the UK, cracking records here. Like, it's one of their fastest-selling games ever, and like, it's really nice for them and nice for Monster Hunter fans, because they've been living like kind of like the Yakuza fans for a while of like, are we gonna get this one? Is the West gonna get this one? When like now it's like, I think Monster Hunter ain't fucking going anywhere in the West for a long ass time after this release. What are you gonna say, Kinross?
I was gonna say we were not necessarily confused, but like a little bit off-put by the fact that there wasn't like a Switch version of any kind. Do you think that was just them saving time and effort on something that they didn't know was going to be blowing up as much as it did, and that the next one we will see, like Monster Hunter World 2 or whatever they do, will be
We'll
on a Switch.
see because they
They
did say
still
that it
might
would not
bring
be.
this though to Switch.
They mentioned in an interview about a week or two ago that they don't think they'd be able to put World on the Switch.
They don't think
No.
they won't. Why? It's just the size of the game itself.
Yeah, because of everything going on and just the engine and the way it looks and the way it performs
enough.
and like all that stuff. He said that it just
Yeah,
probably
that's
wouldn't
sad. That's
wow.
kind of sad to hear because
Because it does have,
that's the whole point of the whole Switch upgrade and stuff.
It does have some hits. It does have some hits on the PS4 performance wise at times. So
That's fair.
there's a lot going on. It's a very pretty game. There's a lot happening. It would be awesome. Like if they manage the resources and do like even if they tuned it down a bit, something for the Switch, because I think especially after seeing how well this entry sold, imagining putting that on the Switch as well, that's fucking okay. Hats off. World 2 will sell gajillions. So it's it'll be interesting, and it'll also be interesting to see how they handle this, because typically the way Monster Hunter games have worked in the past is you'd get Monster Hunter 4 and then a Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, which includes G rank, which is like an entire set of new monsters and a new difficulty for endgame. So I'm curious if their plan for World is to do a World Ultimate or a DLC expansion model, which they've never really done in this way before. They've always took the approach of re-releasing the game with new content instead of adding expansion packs. Like they've always added piecemeal monsters and little things like that, but they've never this is an expansion pack that you could download, because I don't think they've ever really had the resources to do that. Like on the 3DS, it was a bit difficult to release an expansion. Like there was always DLC and stuff like that, but so now that they are able to do that, there's no season pass or anything, but I'm curious how they'll handle the addition of new content to this. If they'll make everyone rebuy the game again for G rank and stuff like that, or if it will be a deal. I can't imagine. I have to imagine they'll be smart about it and it'll be a DLC. But yeah, the game's been the risk and reward of playing this game and the mastery of weapons. Like this has been one of my favorite experiences.
Very early on, I will
but,
continue to wait
fantastic.
for the PC version. I mean, the PC version is.
Yeah, dude, I'll play it with you, man.
Yeah,
When
hey,
it comes
man,
out,
for
for
sure.
sure.
I'll need someone to play with. I'm gonna try to get a buddy of mine into it too. He's been watching a lot of the gameplay videos with me and stuff, but he's also mainly PC gamer, So I think that's probably what we're gonna jump on. And it does look sweet. It does look sweet. That's for sure. I mean, it's awesome.
The other game that I have been playing,
I know this
and
one.
I've been playing it a lot. Now I'm trying to figure out how to frame this, because I think there's a aura around the game on the internet. Now it's died down a lot. And a lot of the conversation I'm reading has become typical speak of what people typically talk about when they're playing a new entry in this series. And I think it's a game where, now I don't know how long certain critics have played it, and that should never be a requirement or an argument for something, but I have been playing Dynasty Warriors 9, and I'm a big Dynasty Warriors fan. I love it.
I saw you tweeting about that, man.
Yeah,
you have been enjoying that, haven't you?
Dude, I've really been liking Dynasty Warriors 9. And not in a Mass Effect Andromeda way where it's like, yeah, this game's fun, man. And then a week later it's like, Jesus Christ, why am I trying to fight this? This game isn't that good.
Why?
This game isn't that good. Whereas Dynasty Warriors 9, I am happily pouring hours into it. Not just it's Mass Effect, I have to play it, or it's Dynasty Warriors, I have to play. I don't know. No, my time is precious. I don't have to play anything anymore. So I'm loving it. It is. Now, for those of you unaware, this was Koei Tecmo's venture into open world, which if you're familiar with Dynasty Warriors, that sounds like, wait, what the fuck? What the hell? Wait, what'd you say? Open world? Did I hear you right? Because Dynasty Warriors historically have been stage-based hack and slash games where you mindlessly
hack and slash,
lawn mow through thousands of poor Chinese dudes who just showed up for this fight and they're getting killed. And it's been strangely successful in that for all these years, at least from a standpoint of hitting its niche. It's never really been a financially successful franchise, and certainly not critically. It has reviewed poorly since the dawn of time. So it's amazing to me that this series has stuck around for as long as it has. And since it has been around so long, Koei Tecmo thought, hey, this time, let's fucking actually do something different instead of making the same game since PS2. And they did that. And they took the typical Dynasty Warriors formula and pasted it into an open world that Some might argue it's empty, or some might argue there's not much to do in there. But it becomes an interesting thing of, like, I'm not certainly sure that I would have taken the series in this direction myself, although I am enjoying it. I also don't really know. My only reason for that is like why I wouldn't have taken it in this direction is that I'm not so certain that like anyone goes, oh man, Dynasty Warriors open world, cool. I like open world games, and like someone who likes a Horizon Zero Dawn is not going to go into a Dynasty Warriors 9 and find the same level of, oh, there's side quests over here. And there are side quests. There's lots of them in Dynasty Warriors. But, like, you're not going to find these interesting points of interest where it's like, oh, I'm finding a cave, or I'm finding, a, you know, like in Breath of the Wild, where you're finding shrines and Korok seeds and all these things that are populating the world and villages and stuff like that. It's a war-torn China. So, like, there's really not much you can do in there besides mini skirmishes and hideouts and forts and things like that. So it ends up becoming of, like, oh man, I didn't come across a little village. I mean, there's lots of towns. Like, there's lots of towns that you take over and things like that. But, I mean, it's not the same kind of open world full of activities that you'd come to expect from an open world.
Is it just...
So they're already in a disadvantageous spot by being a game that takes place in a country where everyone's literally just fucking each other up. So, like, there's no, like, people say, oh, I'm going to go... these guys are just a village of farmers. Like, no, everyone's just fucking each other up. So
is it a case of the open world basically just makes it like a massive mission all at once? So you're basically just like in a mission and then going into like a smaller, more contained thing, and then back out to
and so this is what I like about it. What I like about the game is the flow. Is that I'm never taken away from anything with a menu. And I know like some people go, oh man, but I have to run so far. Like to be honest, when I'm running from point to point, I'm never like starved of anything to get or do. Like there's roaming packs of bandits, you know, who are like high level and they'll give you rare currencies and things like that. And that's one of my favorite things to farm. Like there's a lot of cool things you could buy with those coins, and there are lots of little forts along the pathways, and the more you take those, the more your troops can follow that road and move up to different main objectives. So as you're roaming, you know, if you're just rocking in the woods, there's not gonna be much to do. But so yeah, so the way it's working is like the main mission, let's say, is up in the northeastern corner of the map. Leading on that road up to that map are maybe several little outposts and things like that. If you choose to skip those outposts and you go to that main mission will be much harder than it would be if you were to clear a path for your AI troops to move up to that place. Now, that sounds awesome, but also it's Koei and Omega Force, and they aren't the best in terms of like the technical side of things. Like their games are janky and have forever been janky. So like when you think like, oh man, I'm doing this cool thing where I'm shifting war fronts and all of that, like yeah, like in theory that's what you're doing, and it is what you're doing, like on paper. But you're not like seeing that really. Like it's not like this like really innovative experience. But from somebody who's played Dynasty Warriors games so much in the past, that is a fun, welcome change up to the way you're doing things. Like, you're not like, oh, I'm going to do this stage now. Like, no, it's like, I'm over on this side of the map. I'm clearing out these outposts. The main mission objective's up there. I'm clearing out a fort over here that now I can save at and buy stuff at. And, like, each fort sells different stuff. So, you're just kind of always playing instead of breaking it up. So, that I appreciate, because the playing itself, the combat, like... This is what confuses me, I think, about some of the stuff I'm reading. And I didn't watch too much of the stuff that was made specifically to fuck the game up. Like, I wanted to play it first. So, like, as I'm playing it, I'm like, oh man, like, I'm actually really curious. Like, what the hell did... Because Dynasty Warriors, historically, also, has not been very difficult unless you turn the difficulty up. And this game holds on to that quite well. Like, if you put the shit on chaos difficulty, it's hard as fuck. But I don't play Dynasty Warriors games for a challenge, really. I play them because like I can put something on over here and just mindlessly fuck shit up. So what's so good, though, is like because I'm never taken out of the game to go into menus, like the combat I think is some of the best, like in terms of like what you're doing and the technicality of it. Like the depth of things that you can do might not seem so deep upon first glance, because a lot of people will complain about characters sharing weapons and characters being clonified and stuff like that, when really like once you play a few characters, like that doesn't really matter, because each character's trigger attacks and finishers, Muso attacks, EX attacks, all of that stuff is different from character to character to character depending on what weapon they're using. So like the clonified stuff really is irrelevant, and like the addition of the trigger attacks and the things that you can do in combos in addition to the gems you can slot in your weapons and the different things you can craft and equipment you can wear, there's a lot of things to dig into in the combat on this, like more than the typical release.
Yeah,
so I'm finding a lot of things.
For sure.
I'm finding a lot of things in here that it's like, okay, people are like fucking ragging on this game so hard because like they saw some footage of like a janky open world tiger hunt, and it's like, man, like Dynasty, when you're rolling on a main mission objective,
you're making me interested because I haven't played Dynasty Warriors since the PS2 era. Like I know there's been like quite a few out since then, but like there was a few out on PS2 era as well, and I got tired of it back then. But like it's definitely something to look into, you know.
Yeah, it's really good, and like it is full of like the voice acting is fucking bad. It's always been kind of bad. I think it's worse in this case. I ended up changing it to the Japanese, which I've never really done, but it's mostly just for repetition of the voice lines. Like they keep saying the same thing over and over again, like a JRPG. Where it's always kind of like, the power of the tiger feels the thunder, and he keeps saying that whenever I use my moves. Like, okay, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, this way, if I'm hearing him in Japanese, I have no clue what he's saying. I don't get annoyed. Yeah, so, like, the main missions, like, a lot of some of the complaints I read were that a lot of the battles were smaller, and, like, yeah, if you're just fighting the little outposts along the roads, those are smaller skirmishes with officers and things like that. But as you're doing things in the main story and taking the main objectives, there are plenty of battles that are still full. Like, I had a 2,000 attack chain, the one match, and I'm playing and thinking, like, people were complaining that there's, like, all the battles are so small. I wouldn't be getting these trophies right now if I was fighting just 4 guys in the woods. Like, there are plenty of moments that are what people who love Dynasty Warriors have come to love about the series since Dynasty Warriors 2. You know, so it's been fun. Like, and I was wary going in. You know, like it was a thing of I love the series. People are shitting on it. It's getting bad reviews. You look historically, this game has never broken really the 70s on Metacritic. Like it did it once. Like Dynasty Warriors 4, I think, which is arguably the best one. But I've been having a good time with it, man. I mean, there are things in the game that are broken. The grappling hook's broken. If you choose to use it anyway, you know, like you don't have to do that. Like a lot of people will complain that, on these main story missions, if I go around the back of the castle and use my grappling hook to climb it, I can kind of skip to the end of the fight. But like, yeah, that's what you want to do. But like, if the fun of Dynasty Warriors is busting through the gate and fucking shit up, and like, if you're choosing not to do that, I mean, yeah, the game gave you an option to skip that, but that's your own fucking fault. Like, that's a complaint that like the cheese is there, just like there was cheese in Neo for the sloth talisman, but it's like if you're choosing to use it, I mean, like that's the onus is on you at that point. I mean, you know, like I like, you know, so I don't know.
When Hyrule Warriors first came out and it was Ebbie's game of the year, I'm pretty sure I remember her saying that it had sparked an interest in her to play a proper Dynasty Warriors game. As far as I'm aware, you haven't. I obviously enjoy Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors. Do you think, jank and all, we would like it? No?
No. Play 8 first. If you're gonna... Okay, here's the thing. It's hard to tell how many of my thoughts on this game are because I'm used to it.
Okay.
Because going from Hyrule to Dynasty Warriors is a little bit of shock to the system, because Hyrule Warriors and even like the other spin-offs like the One Piece game and stuff like that, those all have a polish that the Dynasty, and I'll never understand why. I don't know if it's because the rights holders of the respective spin-off franchise like maybe stand over there like a watchful parents more than like the guys who were working on Omega Force working on Dynasty, where it's like, fuck it, we've been doing this for 20 years, you know, whereas like Nintendo's like, yo guys, don't fuck this up, you know.
Yeah. So
I imagine that's probably the case. Sorry, I'm looking at my Audacity here. It's getting all weird again. But so like expecting the level of polish that, like, you know, Hyrule Warriors, like I loved the bit I played of Hyrule Warriors. It was one of the most mechanically sound Warriors games I've played, next to like Warriors Orochi and Samurai Warriors 4. If you were gonna play one that wasn't like a spin-off, like a Hyrule Warriors or a Fire Emblem Warriors, the two I would recommend playing are either Samurai Warriors 4, which is like one of their best looking. I don't know why they don't take the guys who make the Samurai Warriors games and put them on the Dynasty Warriors team, because the Samurai Warriors games have usually historically always been better looking and they have smoother mechanics. Samurai Warriors 4 is a beautiful, like, the game rocks 60 FPS on every platform. Like, the game is nice to look at. The character designs are really fun. They added hyper attacks, which are really fun to go through. In fact, it's when I made that one video on my YouTube channel, that's the gameplay footage I had in the background. That's a really fun one if you're new to like the Japan China ones. Or Dynasty Warriors 8, which is arguably, as much as I'm enjoying 9, and I think it is a good Dynasty Warriors game, and I think if you knew what to expect going in, like, you would, like, used to it a little bit, because it is jank. I mean, you might enjoy it, but Dynasty Warriors 8 is arguably the best Dynasty Warriors game. Like, from front to back. The Extreme Legends Complete Edition that's on PS4 is arguably, like, the best content-complete Dynasty Warriors game. It has fucking loads of content. The levels are really fun. All of the characters have unique moves and weapons to unlock. They all have legendary weapons, and there's lots to do in that game. Okay. And it's probably some of the best combat that Dynasty Warriors... I'm really enjoying the way they set it up in 9. But 8, if you wanted to really, like, I'm curious about Warriors games, but I've only played Hyrule Warriors or One Piece Pirate Warriors or whatever, like, I would recommend Samurai Warriors 4 or Dynasty Warriors 8. And then if you like those, I think if you could dig that shit, you could probably dig 9, because I'm gonna be honest with you, 9's getting thrown through the ringer, but like Jim Sterling on the shit, I think 9's fine. And that's the general sentiment I'm seeing now on the subreddit and on GameFAQs, is like, now that all of that shit is cleared, everyone's enjoying it because they've gotten further and unlocked more stuff in combat and got past the chapter 1 and 2 hump, because once you get past those, the story gets more involved and you're in a lot larger battles as you progress too. So it's a great game. I'm enjoying it. A great game is a Dynasty Warriors game. When I say great game, I'm not saying it's a great game as in, wow, Monster Hunter is a great game. So is Dynasty Warriors. No. Side by side, one game is clearly objectively superior video game, but it's a fun game. I'm having a good time with it. But
I find it weird that they've gone from, like, Fire Emblem Warriors that reviewed quite well to Dynasty Warriors 9.
Their output is a roller coaster.
I presume that it must be like different teams.
Nobody at Koei knows how to apparently knows how to stop making games, because right now they have like 9 games in the pipeline. They have the new Attack on Titan game. They do this Atelier series. They did Warriors All Stars not too long ago. They're working on the Hyrule Warriors port. I'm sure they're developing a One Piece game again. Like, guys, it's okay if you just, like, stop it. They're also working on Samurai Warriors 5. Like, so it's like, Jesus H. Like, guys. But I think that becomes a problem, too, because I think they end up prioritizing things that are obviously going to be things that, if they stick to landing with this, it'll be better financially. So, like, if they make a better Hyrule Warriors game, that's better for them than if they make a good Dynasty Warriors game, if that makes sense. Because the people who buy Dynasty Warriors are typically just going to be fucking me and the people who play it. Whereas somebody who buys something like a Dragon Quest Heroes, like, those Dragon Quest fans are eyeing that up.
I played Dragon Quest Heroes 1. That's the only one I played. I played it for a little bit, for like 4 hours or so. That was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Yeah, like it had its moments.
Get this one, Yokurama. Get this one.
I do want to. I've been meaning to for sure. I played.
It's so good.
I played Hyrule Warriors a bit on the Wii U, but I didn't play it as much as I wanted to. But
I played that game for like 170 hours.
Holy shit!
I don't need to buy the definitive edition, but I'm gonna.
You gonna play it for 170 more or no?
I really hope not. But who knows? Yeah. Are you going to be getting the definitive edition for Hyrule Warriors, Bill?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna rebuy it on the Switch because I got rid of my Wii U one not that long ago as well.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason.
Every game that Switch is getting a remaster, or remake of, or whatever, I'm getting that on the Switch. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's such a great idea for them to do, because like even when who said it? Was that you, Kinross, earlier? You said like you're playing, like you're able to play, like the player base for something like Mario Kart is larger than it's ever been.
Potentially,
like,
could be. Yeah, not that it necessarily is. Yeah,
it's. I think it's sold more. I think than the Switch version. I think I was reading.
I think it has done,
or it matched it.
It's gotta have.
Which is nuts to think about. And like even stuff like Splatoon, where like a lot of people didn't jump into Splatoon on the Wii U because they didn't have a Wii U. Less the player base was so much smaller. So like re-releasing things like Tropical Freeze and doing the Bayonetta collection again.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of my Bayonetta collection because I'm gonna be getting it on the Switch again. Because the third one coming out, that's gonna be awesome, man. It's so awesome
You know
that they
what I
did a
want?
second one on the Wii U, and now they're doing a third Bayonetta on the Switch.
Yep.
It's pretty sick.
What I desperately want them to do is bring over Tokyo Mirage Sessions from the Wii U to
Do
the
you think
Switch.
they will?
I don't know if they will,
Especially-
because it sold like garbage, but...
and it came out so late, I think, in the Wii
Yeah,
U.
but the thing is,
Twice,
it's
I
still
It
it's
did.
still
As
one of
well.
those games that people are like, yeah, if you have a Wii U, it's still worth getting a Wii U to get Tokyo Mirage
Like,
Sessions, you know?
I never finished it because it didn't have off-screen play, and I thought that was the dumbest thing in the world. So if it was on the Switch, then I could officially get rid of everything to do with my Wii U if I wanted to.
I kind of, for some reason, I have a doubt that it will come to Wii U.
I don't think it's going to.
Because I feel
I'd like
that
it to,
feels
but I
like
don't think it will.
I mean the Switch, that feels like a Wii U exclusive kind of game that's gonna stay exclusive for the
Yeah,
Breath
which
of
is a
the Wild.
shame because I'll probably never beat it. Because that would mean having to plug in a lot of stuff and remember where I was.
Yeah,
but
screw that.
I kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch has made me appreciate how good JRPGs are for playing on the go. Like when you've got 5 minutes, you'll like grind a bit or whatever. And I don't like having to do that while I'm like sat in a chair like this. I kind of just like, I don't know. Which is probably why I'm not going to enjoy Kingdom Hearts as much as I should, but we'll see. But I like Persona 5, so I don't know. Maybe I'm.
I like my
Move your
JRPGs
TV closer
on.
to the bed.
I like my
Pull it
JRPGs on my
closer.
TV. I'm one of those weirdos. Like a lot of people love playing the JRPGs on the go. I can't do it. Anything I'm playing longer than 5 hours.
If I'm playing docked
that
and
shit
stuff, and I know I'm gonna be playing a game for a long time, my TV is across the room too. But if I know,
But that's the
I
beauty.
bring
Move
it.
it.
I bring it right to my face in my bed. You know, like I have a TV.
I just need to get the
randomly
like willpower to
displaced.
do that.
Displaced
because
in
the
my
reason I
room.
have the reason I have my like PS4 here and stuff is because I've got a capture card and I'm like recording footage as I play games, so that when it comes to like game of the
Get
year
a
lists at
longer
the end of the
cord.
year- I know it's so simple, but I won't do it.
Yeah, but
I'll do
it's
it my
very
own
nice.
stupid,
It's very nice
inefficient way.
when you have a TV like right in your face, like in your bed when you're like playing something. It's pretty nice.
That's what I liked about Persona 5. I could play it in bed because my TV used to be like there with my PS4 plugged
man.
in.
All right, so
And I had
Okay,
like 90
sorry.
hours of just playing Persona in bed, and it was great. But
we are approaching the 3-hour mark.
Holy,
So I'm going to initiate the final countdown. Okay.
is that what you guys do?
No.
This is brand new. This is brand new.
I thought you
this
guys
is,
initiate final countdown
yeah.
every time. I'd be like, holy
This-
shit, are you serious?
No, it's getting ready to close his doors, but I
see
did
what
want
you
to
mean.
do the
I would like to
lightning
talk about
round.
one thing.
That's the thing, yeah. Lightning
Yeah.
round. Any games that people didn't get to talk about that they'd like to talk
Okay,
about. To close out
okay,
the
I
show.
go last. I gotta look at Steam.
Okay. I
Kinross, you're up.
I finished a game. I started and finished a game this month, although I can't 100% it. I played Night in the Woods at the request
Oh, nice.
of
Nice.
Maze. It is I will say I have a couple of problems with the game. Number one, it only lets you have one save file, and as far as I'm aware, requires at least 2 playthroughs to see like everything that you can do, because it's got like a Persona style days limit, although it doesn't necessarily tell you that, and spending time with people isn't necessarily possible. So I'm kind of miffed about that, and it's going to sound like a stupid thing, but right at the beginning of the game, you need to perform a triple jump. But the game, to learn that triple jumps exist, you have to perform a triple jump to get to the sign that tells you. Unless there's something that I was missing in terms of how to get to that sign. But that was a ball ache.
To triple jump, do you just press the jump button 3 times?
Yes, but I didn't know that triple jump was a thing in the game. I had no reason to believe it was a thing. So I was just hopping around for like 20 minutes trying to get into a place, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm going to Google it, and it turns out there's a triple jump. And I don't know whether it's exclusive to the Switch port, but every now and again, you know how you could, like if you boot up a console and you are already pushing the stick in a certain direction, you set that as the 0 point, and you could like auto run. It feels like it does that sometimes, And so I think that I'm in a cutscene and May is moving with a purpose, and it's like, oh no, it's actually just because for whatever reason she's decided to move on her own. So if you don't know anything about it, it's sort of a point and clicky mystery game, sort of a girl who comes back from college as a dropout, and you're trying to work out what you're doing with your life. It's one of those weird things where the main characters are animals, but they're obviously people. But normal animals still exist, and people have pets, and there are wild squirrels and raccoons and things. So it's like the Pluto Goofy situation of why are these ones smart and the others not, which is just a personal issue that I have. No one in the game ever addresses how bloody weird that is. They're just cats and dogs and bears and crocodiles and things. I think I enjoyed it. The characters are probably the main reason to play the game. They're very well written, although there is one character that I refuse to spend any time with because I'm pretty sure he's an asshole. Called Greg. I'm sure that if I learnt more about him, he wouldn't be as much of an asshole, and I'd feel bad about thinking that, but I didn't. But the last chapter, things take a really weird turn in terms of like logic jumps that I don't follow at all. So I don't actually understand the end of the game whatsoever.
Time to Google.
I did Google, and it's just theories.
Oh, so it's like a. I might like this then. I might like this.
I don't know whether I just missed something because I played like. I played the first chapter, and then like 2 weeks later came back to it when I'm beating this before the recording. So I don't know whether there's something that was mentioned in the beginning that I just don't remember. But yeah, the final chapter, it sort of feels like it jumps the shark a bit. But that might just be my own ineptitude. Maze will probably be very angry with me for not understanding her game. But yeah, it's on the Switch. Recommend that you pick it up. It's not too expensive.
It's on sale right now on Steam and PS4 for $13. If anyone is interested, art style is beautiful. I'm thinking about picking it up myself actually.
Yeah, it's
meaning to get to it for a while.
7 or 8 hours long, so it's not too bad.
It's longer than Shadow of the Colossus, then.
But that was me not being good at it and talking to literally everyone. You could probably do it a bit faster.
Okay.
Cool, man. Cool.
I also played Mirror, but I've not played enough of that yet.
I also played Mirror. I don't think it's a good game.
It's a match 3 game. That's
where
all you need to know.
Where you undress women as you match the threes.
Mm.
Okay.
And then
it's
you
like
punish
an
the
anime
women.
match. It's kind of like Honey Pop, but
but BDSM-y.
Weirder. Like some of
And
the
Monster
like
Girls.
it's got visual novel cutscenes in between, and like one of the lines in it was, "I'm going to fuck that slutty scent off of you." It was like a bit much.
I will say why we bought this game, Bill. It was on sale
That's
for
what I'm
£1.
wondering.
Yeah,
It was on sale for £1, and I was like, I need a match 3 other than Puyo Puyo, and
Get bejeweled, man! Bejeweled, man!
no one's calling people sluts and bejeweled.
But I didn't know that. I just saw.
Bejeweled
I saw
3
match.
is all
I
you
saw
need,
match
man.
3, and I saw that it was Monster Girl. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird. It's only £1. Why not? And then it developed this much more sexual element. Thank God for the weird censoring that Steam has. It's like is it a frog or a rabbit or something covering stuff up? It's a bit weird. But I'll talk about it more next month.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to hearing about this fucking game. All right.
The first game I finished this year in my quest to finish a game a month was Season 3 of The Walking Dead.
Oh shit!
And I thought I would get on that because the TV show of The Walking Dead is dead to me as of tomorrow. So
Oh, is it back tomorrow?
yes,
Comes back tomorrow.
and that is the last episode of The Walking Dead that I'm ever going to watch.
Why,
so...
is it getting bad or something? I haven't watched it since, like, season 4.
It did the stupidest thing I've ever seen a TV show do.
Why are you going to give it this one?
Because I want to see how the thing happens.
Okay.
Okay. I've only played season 1 of Season Dead Walking Dead season 1. Season Dead. Season Dead 1.
Season 1 is still probably my favourite, but I was worried that because the thing that happens is that it switches protagonists from Clementine, who we've known since season 1.
That's season 3 it switches?
Yeah, it switches to a guy called Javi, who is a new character.
What about season 2? Is it still Clementine?
Yeah, that was Clementine, who was the protagonist, and then it switched to Javi, who I was really worried that I wouldn't like, because, like, I feel if I'm going to invest time into this emotional story that's going to, like, make me cry or whatever, I'm going to need to like the protagonist, and I didn't really have any reason to like him beforehand, because he was a brand new character. He's probably my favourite character in The Walking Dead.
Really?
Telltale game so far. I just think he's really fun and cool. So...
Is it going to be a season 4?
Season 4 is called The Final Season.
Ooh.
Oh man,
but it's not out yet.
I know that season 1 episode 2 was my favorite, like the episode 2 of season 1. I don't know if you remember. I don't want to.
Was that where they went to the motel?
No, the motel was still episode 1. Episode 2 is when they went to the farm.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to spoil anything, but that was like, what the fuck. I bought a Vita. I played season 1 of Walking Dead, and then I sold the Vita. That was my experience with this. That was my experience with the Vita, and it was just awesome. Okay, it was awesome experience.
Yeah, I'd recommend, like, if I got season 3 on sale for like £8 or something, and it was really, really worth it. I don't think Life is Strange being the exception to this. I don't think I like episodic gaming too much because I don't want to stop playing. Like, when it gets to that like 2-hour threshold, and it's like, oh, the episode's over.
Why not? Why not play?
Well, next episode.
Yeah, why not play episodic games as they're finished? Why don't you do you do that usually, or do you like to follow them as they release?
I do with Life is Strange because I feel like more people on Twitter are gonna spoil Life is Strange for me. Mm-hmm. But The Walking Dead, I don't really follow many people who play that episode.
Well, it's because it's already kind of old. It's like one of the original, well, not the original, but like from Telltales that got popular. The Walking Dead was one of the first ones that got really popular again. Yeah,
I don't know what I'm gonna do with season 4. I don't know if I'm gonna play that episodically or if I'm just gonna wait until it's all out.
It'll be a while till it's all out, probably. Though.
I'm gonna assume that Clementine and Harvey have like a face-off, and one of them dies.
No, don't make me choose between them.
Oh, you won't get to choose. It'll be based on everyone else's choices in the previous 3 seasons.
That was the one thing. This is the one thing that really, really, really pisses me off about the Walking Dead Telltale games is their determinant characters. So those are characters that, if given a choice, they die in a scenario. So say you have to choose between character A and character B, and you choose character A, so character B dies, but that means in another playthrough, character A will have died. So eventually, that character will also die, and it's really easy to, like, tell when a character is going to die. Oh. If you ever have the option of saving that character or not saving them, there's no point in saving them because they're going to die anyway, so...
But you've got to save one of them for the game to progress, but you're just
the other one will die either way, right? Okay.
Yeah. And it's got a massive problem with that because it makes things... Because there was this big like choice at the end of Season 2 where you had to choose between a character. And I knew going into Season 3 that the character that I chose to
Season 2 is what
stay
I have
with
installed.
was going to die.
I gotta play that. I wanted to play that since Season 1.
Play it and then play Season 3 and then we can talk.
Alright. Maybe next time if I play all of Kingdom Hearts.
You can play all of Kingdom Hearts and all of The Walking Dead.
All of Walking Dead, and at the same time playing League and Slay the Spire, obviously.
Of course.
That's my life.
And everything on the Switch.
And
have you ever played The Walking Dead, Bill?
Episode 1.
Hey,
when it first came out,
good.
like when nobody knew like what this was, like it first came out, I bought it with my friends. Like actually, I want to say episode 1. Did they give that out for free? I think they did.
I think on
I think they do now,
iPad
but I
and
don't
such.
think they do anymore.
iPad and such, they
no.
had episode 1 free for a while. I don't know if it still do and stuff. That's where I played.
But I did that, or maybe I'm thinking of Wolf Among Us. But I never finished the season though. I played episode 1 with friends. Wow, this is fucking awesome, and like it was really fun to play with people. Like wow, I wasn't expecting this to be this good. But I just never finished it on my own. I've played other Telltale games like Wolf Among Us and Game of Thrones and stuff, but I've never beaten Walking Dead before.
You should do that.
I have
season
it. I
2
have it
and then
on
play season 3.
Season 1 was
I have
very
it on,
good, and episode 2 of season 1, like I mentioned like 5 minutes ago.
Do I have that on Steam?
It's hella sick.
Shit on
Hella sick, and you'll be like, what the fuck? And you'll be like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And
I do. I have it on Steam.
That is like a whole roller coaster of emotions, and it's correct.
But cool. Yokurama, you said you had a final game.
Oh wait,
on your list.
yeah. I already forgot because I have to go look at my Steam
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
There was a game I wanted to mention. I just wanted to mention, but let me see if I remember.
League of Legends.
No, My Time in Portia. You guys ever heard of that game?
Ooh, yeah, I want to hear about
Okay,
this.
yeah, for sure. Me too.
That
the-
is the
interested
like
in it.
Stardew Valley but like 3D
Yeah,
version,
yeah.
and I played
Oh,
it. I've only played
okay.
it for a few hours, and it's still kind of early game when it comes to games like that where you're crafting and you're just building up all your stuff. That's kind of where I'm still at. And so far, it's okay. Like I wouldn't say it's anything to jump at. I mean, it's still early access, so you can't really like expect a polished, fully game at this point. But it's still very entertaining, and the crafting, the way you build your projects and you build your quests is you have this huge table or this huge like crafting area, and you set up the schematics, and then you slowly bring parts. Like you need like this much stuff to build this part, and you already see the pre-built schematic, and you just add to it. I mean, it just takes the whole building aspect to it and makes it just like, I mean, they just look at it from a different aspect, I guess. I mean, it's nothing really special. It's just a different way of building stuff, and they're just trying to do something different with that. But it's you have a town, you build relationships with characters. It's single player. You like. Flirt, you play rock paper scissors with people, that's what
Sounds like my kind of game.
it's a good game. It's a good game.
It looks really charming, man.
It's
really
very
charming.
fun. I like the combat. You can pick up different like punching like gloves and all these like I bet you there's like later on, I'm not that far in, but you can probably pick up different weapons. You can go mining, you can go into caves, you can do all sorts of stuff. So I'm still early in the game, but I did pick that up about a week ago or so, and I did play it for a little bit. And
Cool.
I just wanted to mention that since that is like probably the latest game I played.
I'm glad you did, because I actually forgot about it, and I heard someone talking about it so long ago. I'm like, that sounds cool. I want to look into that, and so I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep playing it, and I'll see what updates or whatever as they come out. If we talk about it again or something like that later on, we'll
Definitely do.
I'll mention it. Like Ebbie mentioned Stardew Valley earlier. I also got into that game. Very good game, and this gives off that kind of like 3D version feeling of that. You're doing.
Now I've got to buy it.
I mean, it takes a little while to get into. You gotta like get into introducing yourself
like,
to everybody in the village and all that. It's like Animal Crossing with Stardew Valley with like all these kind of builder games with Minecraft. But hey, it's early access, so it's a little bit of everything. It's not like fully fleshed out of everything.
I feel like that sort of game is very dangerous in early access because they could very easily rip everything out relationship-wise and make you start over, and the starts of those games can
for
be
sure.
quite
But I'm kind
slow.
of I know that early access is kind of dangerous altogether to get into, but. Like I said, I got into Dead Cells early access. I'm into Slay the Spire early access, and just a bunch of random like I have a bunch of random games that I follow that I know will never get anything else updated through early access already. But I still enjoyed my time with them. They're cheap games. Usually early access don't go for like $15-$10. You buy a game, you enjoy it, even if you played like 10 hours of it and it doesn't even go any further than that. I feel like I still, enjoy it.
Early access.
I have
early
news.
access Oh, what's up?
It's
Did you
coming
buy it?
out on the Switch, so I'm gonna buy it there.
Hey!
Is it coming out on the Switch?
Nice.
Yeah, it's coming out on the Switch.
Already
Before or
announced? What
after
the?
multiplayer
Everything is just announced on the Switch, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'll buy it on
Switch,
the
man.
Switch.
Hey, for sure. I do
So-
recommend it. It looks nice. It plays nice, and it has. I mean, it's just a fun game. You know, if you enjoy those kind of games, for sure.
You know, there was an initial like, man, early access sucks kind of thing. You know, like
Because
it-
there
it
is
is
a
when
honestly,
DayZ
there's
was
a
in early
ton
access.
of
Yeah.
garbage out there.
it has kind of become the norm at this point. But I also think like we wouldn't be getting to play this shit for a while. And I think if you're a developer and you tackle it the correct way, it's a really unique process. Like especially when you look at the way Slay the Spire does it, and the way Dead Cells have done it, and the way Darkest Dungeon have done it, where they really get involved with the community, and like you really feel like you're helping with this shit, like in a way that isn't just, hey, test our servers. Like, no, it's like man.
I also
what I'm
have
saying
the
and
beta
doing,
set up.
It's shaping.
I recommend, Bill. I know you have Dead Cells already, but you can if
Yeah.
you go right click, you can set up a beta version where
What's in there?
you can you know how they do updates. Well, you'll get the updates even
Yeah.
like a week earlier than the updates to regular server.
Oh,
So if you're
nice, I might as well do
if you're
that.
good, yeah, I've been on that since the beginning. I just since I bought the early access, I switched up to the beta. I'm not sure if Slay the Spire has that. I haven't looked into that, but they might also have that. And I mean,
server
Steam
or
also does that. They work with betas a lot, where you can get the beta version of the game, and like also with Paladins, you can get the test client, where you can have unlimited skins, unlimited everything, and play whatever you want with Paladins. You know, you don't have to buy anything with real money. You can just get everything, all the cards, all the like. It's just they have like the it's for testing, you know, because even Paladins. I know we didn't mention Paladins, even though I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it because I did put a lot of time to that game at one point. And Bill was into that on PS4, I believe.
They just added. Oh, I was obsessed with it on PS4 for a bit.
Yeah.
They added a battle royale mode.
Yeah, and talking about Battle Royale, I have a lot to say about Fortnite. I did dabble into that game a lot, and I mean, it just there's just so much cool stuff coming out when it comes to early access and free to play and things like that. It's definitely becoming on a different level than it used to be.
For sure.
Free to play is not. I mean, even Warframe. I don't know if you guys ever played Warframe, but that's getting a lot of updates. It's a replacement to Destiny. If you don't want to pay money for Destiny, play Warframe. I mean, that's a hella good game. Free game. I mean, Steam, PS4. I mean, it's out there. You know.
I'm a little bummed that I can't transfer. It's a tangent, kind of, but that I can't transfer my content, my character from
Destiny.
PS4 to PC because. Like, I have a lot of shit. Like, I played it a lot on PS4. I got a lot of shit.
I
on
only
there.
have
like,
on PC
I got,
stuff. So
I want to move to PC now that I have a better rig and everything. And I'm like, because they get the updates first and all that. But I'm like, I can't transfer my guy. I just have to take the jump, man, and just start over.
I'm thinking of starting over too because I have a bunch of friends that are getting into it again.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's just like becoming a whole different level with all this early access and all this getting games for cheap. Like Ark, for example. You guys know Ark, right?
Yep.
Ark Evolved. I mean, that's a $60 game. I bought that game for like $15 in early access back like ages ago. I don't even remember how, like years. Now it's a $60 game, and you're like looking, or like Rust. Rust is like a $35 game or $30 game.
Rust just
yeah, I've had Rust for ages.
Oh, it's actually released.
Yeah, like I mean, I was surprised that it was released after all these years. But
Yeah,
I've
to be
had
fair,
Rust.
they did scrap everything and then start over.
I've had Rust
that
for
once, yeah.
ages. Like I bought Rust. Like I don't even remember for how much or for when. Like, but it's out, and it's. I mean, all these games like they're slowly getting released, and it's like. Everybody's right now slowly getting into all those released games, but it's just weird like that you've been playing them since early access, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
it's a weird time.
I think I've bought
It's fun,
Rust
man.
like 12 times through Humble Bundles at this point.
do we all own Rust?
I'd
I'd like to play Rust again.
Hey,
Ebbie, if
Rust
you
is
don't own
fun.
Rust, I can
Do you have a
give
spare
you...
code?
I think I have a spare code
If we don't have a spare code, wait for a couple Humble Monthlies. I'll probably end up.
Yeah,
getting one.
that's true too.
It's in everything.
Yeah. So anyway, Yokurama, thank you for coming on. To
Hey,
this
dude, this is
show
awesome, man. This
this
is
month, my friend.
just talking about games and just chilling, man. Dude, this is all I remember it to be, you know.
Yeah, we've
So,
not really changed that.
Less
much.
food, though.
Yep. So if you'd like to be back next month,
Hey,
Yokurama,
for sure,
you're
man. A whole
welcome
month. I'll actually play games
That's-
critically. I'll
yeah.
think about games because
And
I play so much shit.
That's our goal. That's our goal with the monthly release, is that we talk about what we've been playing. So, like, if we do that weekly, it's like I'm playing the same shit I played
We should
last week,
we should maybe do a little at least segment for me where I talk about some old games that I play because I do play old consoles like NES, SNES. I still play stuff like that.
I have some ideas for some other stuff too, but we'll
Bill
talk
has
about
plans.
it off show. So so this has been the Permadeath Podcast, episode 39. We hope you
gonna be
enjoyed
40
it.
soon.
Gonna be at 40. Gonna be over the hill.
Hey, I'm glad I'll
Wow.
be here for 40. I mean,
I
that's
better
all
make
I
a
wanted.
cake
Hell
or
yeah,
something.
man! Big old milestone.
Yeah,
episode
we're
40.
gonna check the anniversary stones and buy presents for ourselves.
Oh. But yeah, so we hope you enjoyed Yokurama's return to the show.
Crazy.
If you're an old listener, welcome back. Come back.
If you've been waiting all this time for Yokurama to come back,
come back. We're still going. But yeah, so we'll go down the line. You can shout out your Twitters or whatever else you want to plug for yourself. If any videos you've made or anything that you're planning. I am find me at Peppered Ham. I ain't doing shit. Except for playing games. You can have me on PlayStation if you want, Lord Hogue, or on Steam, Peppered Ham. I'll talk to you. We'll hang out. We'll maybe play games if I have time. I have a spreadsheet now, so you never know these days.
Hey, with that spreadsheet,
scheduled.
sure, man.
Organized fun.
So yeah. Whoever wants to
are
go
you
up next,
free on the 23rd of March
Oh,
between 2 and 3 p.m.?
Let me check my spreadsheet. No, I'm not.
Oh,
But yeah. So who wants to rock next year down the line here? Who wants to go?
well, next to you is Yokurama.
Oh, really? All right. Hey, well, I don't really have much going on since this is, like I said, one of the early first places where I'm back on the internet. But like I said, I do want to come back. I have been watching anime again a little bit more, catching up on some stuff, and I do want to make some videos. I clean first place to know this. I had like 600 videos on my YouTube channel on Yokurama Game Talk. If you search, that's my YouTube channel. I had like 600 videos on there. I put majority of them unlisted. And there's only
I've done the same, dude.
There's only
I've done the same.
I know I say only, but there's still 91 videos left. So if you want to look at the videos like best of Yokurama that I chose myself, go to my channel, look up my videos. It's just a bunch of like shitty ass reviews and top fives and top tens, just bullshit, But it's about anime and whatever stuff I decided to keep. And I still kept the other stuff because eventually I do want to do something with my shitty old chapter reviews and stuff just to make fun of myself. But I do want to come back and make some videos. I've been watching some stuff from this season and playing games. Eventually I want to start streaming, the whole I don't know about Twitch, but maybe YouTube streaming, YouTube gaming. But
Dude, let's play
Probably
some
best-
Fortnite.
best
hey,
Play some
Fortnite,
dude.
Paladins, anything,
Stream
man.
some Fortnite.
Maybe I'll
Let's
get
go.
you into League
I'll
after
join you.
20 years,
No.
We
It's
managed to
not
get him to
happening.
play a couple of games
Hey,
of Heroes.
Then
That's
hey,
never
probably
played
as
League.
close
Hey,
as we'll get.
I think it'll be a memorable moment when I delete Bill Peppered Ham from my League of Legends account.
Yeah. Dude, let me go. Cut it.
This is it. This is where it ends. To 2018. No chance. No hope. But yeah, Yokurama Game Talk is my YouTube. Maybe within the next few weeks, maybe a month, maybe a couple months, you'll see something on there. And hopefully I'll be back for next Permadeath Manga Pod. I'm scheduled to come back on Tuesday if anybody knows what the hell that is. And also there's something else that's gotta be Twitter. Clap. Twitter. Twitter, Yokurama Talks. I tweet random shit once in a while, and that's just something I never kind of left. I just always tweeted stuff. So that's it.
Cool, man.
That's all.
Cool,
That's all me.
man.
That's all me. All of me.
Ebbie.
You can find me on Twitter at BazarJelly5. I am not doing anything at the minute
Fuck yeah.
because it's too cold to sit not outside of a blanket. So
This
I'm holding a
next
candle
episode,
right now to warm
Yeah, to get
Whoa!
to survive.
I wondered what the flickering was. I was like, is there
Yeah,
something I
I've
need
had
to
this
worry
candle
about?
here.
Hey, is it
Yeah.
very
So I'm
cold
just
over
like-
there right now? It's pretty cold here too. It's like snowy and icy. I'm in Missouri. I don't know where you guys are at, but
What's
it's been hella crazy.
the weather?
well, last 2 days it wasn't too bad, but I don't know. You're like in Celsius and stuff. I would have to.
Up to 5 degrees.
Well, there you go. It is currently.
Yeah, it's colder.
1 degree.
It's definitely colder over there right now.
Yeah, it's 2 here at the minute. And I've realised that I've had my window open this entire time. I was wondering why I was so cold.
Why?
I
Camera's
opened my
out of
window
focus.
at like at midday, and apparently I forgot to shut it. So
I've unfocused my camera and it refuses to refocus.
that's okay. It's
At
tired.
least we're at the end, so.
Yeah.
Kinross, my boy, where you at?
I am at Twitter at Kinross07. Pretty much everything that I am doing at the moment is working out behind the scenes stuff for this channel. My channel is pretty much dead at the moment, as is my Twitch. But as Bill has plans, I have plans.
I also have plans, but I was supposed to do them this month and didn't, so.
Fidget spinner off.
Wait. Fidget spinners? Right.
I can't get the camera
Randy
to
with the
focus
fidget
again.
spinners. I gotta find
Just
one.
cover the camera over. There you go. Are you ready, Bill? 3, 2, 1.
Hey, but I only have
This is how we
a
sync up now.
plastic piece of crap that I spilled drink on, so it kind of doesn't spin too well. Okay, that's it.
I don't have one.
That's all I did.
This is how we sync now, okay? Alright, everyone
Okay,
stop.
everybody fidget spin.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, spin.
This has been the Permadeath Podcast, episode 39, everybody. Let us know down below what you think of anything we've talked about, any games that strike your fancy. Do you also love Dynasty Warriors 9? Is it one of the best Dynasty Warriors games you've ever played? Let me fucking know. I'd love to hear about it, you know. Great video game.
Should we kick Yokurama off again?
Yes,
Or
please.
now that
Maybe
Yokurama
another
is back,
12
should I leave?
12 episodes, maybe another, and then kick me off. We'll see.
Okay. I'll leave for 12 episodes. I'll come back when you leave. It'll be
Yeah,
Back to
we'll miss each other again.
Perfect plans. So long, everybody. Have a great month.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.